Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's video, let's see, why is it like this? Okay. In today's video, we're going to talk about Dalton. Dalton had another board meeting, and it was horrendous. Okay, the shenanigans that went on last night, it was really ridiculous. You guys type in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Make sure that you can hear me and see me. Then we're going to get into Harvard's ex-president and that whole debacle. I believe she was forced to resign, but she stepped down from being the president of Harvard. Okay, so let me just see what's going on in the chat. We got Sherry in the house. We have MB Burke in the house. Thank you for joining us. The trustee meeting actually went off the rails last night. They started with this special meeting. Well, let's start here. They canceled the meeting prior. They had a scheduled meeting for January the 2nd, and that meeting was canceled. I believe the meeting was canceled, and I'm not in Dalton, Illinois, but I believe the meeting was canceled so your girl, Teflon Tiffany, could put together all her videos because she knew they was going to ask again about these credit card statements that they have not received in the last 5 months or since May, which is really ridiculous. And so last night debacle only further proves that Teflon and her henchmen, they don't know what they're doing, and they're straight up lying to the citizens of Dolton Village. Okay, so we're going to get into some of what was said in that meeting. Also, the Village of Dalton trustees, they posted up a couple of videos. I want to view those just to defend their claims that Tiffany Henyard is a liar, and she backtracks, and she used her defense is try to belittle people and make them feel like, oh, they're less than just stating the facts and showing the receipts. Her whole defense is saying, oh, you not doing your job, you don't know what you're doing. Instead of asking me for these things, you need to do your job. But our job is, the board of trustee job is to manage the money. Then you had your boy Keith asking who created the financial report, and it's like, okay, we have an accountant. Why wouldn't we use an accountant for the finances? You know. And the Village of Dalton, the trustees, their whole responsibility is to balance the budget. So we're going to get into it.
Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Something like this. Like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad.
That's right. You guys put in the chat. Let me know you could hear me and see me well. I just want to make sure you could hear me and see me. What we have up here is this is the video the Board of Trustees posted. And it's titled, Dalton Mayors Withhold Credit Card Statements from the Board of Trustees. And in this video, it's going back to when Tiffany Henyard was a trustee member. Remember, if you've been following me, I've already stated Tiffany Henyard has all the necessary tools to be a great mayor, because she served on the board for several years, but she refuses to do so. She's power hungry. She likes to belittle people to flex her power. Anyone that challenges her, she wants to stomp them out. And she's very disrespectful. And she asks for other people to respect her. But like I said, in this particular video, her sentiment towards the previous mayor was, hey, how can I vote on something and you haven't showed me any receipts? And now the trustees that she served with, at least House, I think House was the only one that was on the board back then. Oh, and your other boy that just flip-flops, whoever holds the power, he's gonna go with them. But he was on the board then. But anywho, she was trying to hold the previous mayor accountable, and now that the board of trustees is trying to hold her accountable, she don't want to be held accountable. Anyway, so let's get into it.
Wait to hear Trustee Henyard's stance on village credit cards.
My next question is credit card invoices. I've asked at the last board meeting, and I don't know if you guys recall, the mayor stated that we could put the credit card bills on the warrant list. It is not on here. I've asked, and I cannot approve bills and not know what I'm approving because I have nothing in front of me to say the mayor could have went on a trip with the credit card. How would I know? Because the bill is not in front of me. So again, Mayor, what happened to you putting the credit card bills on the warrant list?
I don't put the credit card bills on the warrant list, and you have the opportunity to vote no on anything that's on the warrant list.
I understand my rights as a trustee. I don't need you to inform me. My question was, I asked for you to place it on the warrant list.
I don't put things on the warrant list.
No. Last board meeting, you stated we can, and it's not on here. The credit card bills. I would like to see itemized credit card bills on the warrant list moving forward for the record, because I cannot make good decisions based off of the information you're giving me without the credit card bills. I need that. Other than that, I am voting blindly, so is the entire board. So I would advise the board to look into that and understand what they're voting for, because we're just voting for stuff and not knowing what we're approving.
Then vote no.
I know that, Mayor, but my question to you is, why isn't the credit card bills on the warrant list? As you stated, it would be.
Trustee Jason House.
Everything she said in that particular clip is correct. She's that's common sense. How can I vote on something and I don't see the itemized bill? I don't know what I'm voting on. So yeah, that's correct what she just said.
Highlighted that the board hasn't received the credit card statements in 6 months.
As we've been repeatedly asking for information that's been documented time and again about credit card statements. We haven't received credit card statements in 6 months. We haven't gotten the electronic warrant list, but yet we're supposed to vote on it.
This is not new to this administration. On September 6, 2022, the village accounting firm flagged an issue via email regarding missing supporting invoices. A sum of $64,899.66 in credit card transactions lacked accompanying receipts or any form of supporting documentation within the system. Subsequently, another notification was received in November concerning transactions amounting to $54,456.07 without corresponding receipts. The cumulative total of these transactions without proper documentation amounts to $119,355.73. Now, more than ever, we have to support Trustee Brown, Trustee Norwood, Trustee Belcher, and the Senior Trustee Jason House. It is crucial to stand united and support the Board of Trustees in their fight for transparency and good government.
Yeah, good government and transparency. And then last night meeting was a whole debacle. Transparency doesn't exist when you're speaking of Tiffany Henyard. There is no transparency. Tanjanique Miller, the accountant of the village, I don't know what she's doing. I don't even know why they even paying her, because she couldn't present any information. And they went back and forth about this credit card statement, saying, oh, first they're saying, oh, you received it. Then they said, oh, you canceled it. It's like, which is it? Stop lying and stop going in circles so you can have the residents confused. We did receive the statement. You are still spending on the credit card because it always come up on the warrant list. But anyway, so last night meeting was a whole debacle. I mean, it started off good, but it ended horribly. It started off good, it ended horribly. They were all like, oh, we're gonna work together, blah, blah, blah. But once the trustees started asking about, hey, the credit card statements and taking stuff off the bill to be paid, Tiffany Henyard got all up in her feelings and started insulting people like a little kid, like a childlike behavior. Let me just pull it up so you guys can see it. Very childlike behavior, which really doesn't make any sense. I'm surprised Tiffany Henyard, they haven't hauled her off in the paddy wagon, because that's where she belongs. Now, the first half of the meeting was like a special meeting. And I'm not going to go over that. I'm going to go over this second part of the meeting. Well, they adjourned the second part, or the regular board meeting. And that started, I guess, 2 hours after they held that first meeting. And I'm starting the video off when Stan Brown was reading the corporate bills, because that's when they went off the rails.
Second, please call the roll.
Motion, I'm waiting to see if that's it. Should I amend it now?
You want to amend the motion?
So this is Stan Brown calling or
Belcher.
going
Aye.
over the corporate
Motion
bills.
passed.
All right, next we have corporate bills. Trustee Stan Brown.
Okay. Electronic warrant list for November the 30th, 2023. Corporate payment register, $363,676.15. Water fund register, $685,903.14. American Rescue Plan register, $32,713.20, for total corporate payments of $1,082,292.49.
Is that your motion to pay the bills? All right, is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Here, I have a comment on this one.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, I do have some amendments I want to suggest. There are items on here that, and this is the credit card warrant list. As a board member, I have not seen the credit card statement since May. I have not had access to receipts on any of these. So there are some items on here that I would like to amend if this motion is unsuccessful. Thank you.
Did you make the motion that you want? What you want to change?
Well, there's a current motion. I'm waiting to see if that's it. Should I amend it now?
You want to amend the motion? You want to change the credit?
Are you trying to make a superseding motion?
If I can do that, I would like to, yes.
Well, I procedurally, so that's what you're trying to do. So you're trying to do a motion over the current motion that's pending.
Sure, yes, let's do that.
Okay.
I can
Go ahead, make your motion.
Okay, I would like to make a superseding motion. I'm gonna write that down. I'd like to make a superseding motion for the bills as read, amending and removing the following items on page 2, Aurelio's Pizza. Sorry, $131.63. Page 2, Best Western Plus, $318.14. Page 2, Chicago Midway Airport, $200. Page 3, Cooper's Hall.
You guys, all of these are hotel rooms and food bills. Literally every single last one of these charges are hotel rooms and food bills. It's some other stuff on there, but it's mostly food. Now, how are you paying for food if you don't have a credit card? I just don't understand that.
Hog Winery, $557.68. Page 3, Dollar Tree, $145.32. Page 3, Food for Less, $107.99. Page 6, Irie Jerk Hut, $1,356.22. Page 6, Italian Fiesta, $113.59. Page 6, JJ Fish and Chicken, $68. Page 7, Johnny T's Bistro and Blues, $90.30. Page 7, Kirk's Barbecue, $676. Page 8, Pot Belly Sandwich Shop, $126.57. Page 8, Ruby Soul Food, $674. Page 9, Sophia Tamales and Corn, $2,400 even. And page 9, The Tasty Crab, $458.79. My motion will be that we pay the bills as read, removing the items stated.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been motion and second. Any discussion? All right, so I have a discussion. So,
Yeah.
well, the problem I have with you guys coming to board meetings and acting as though y'all don't get things, I don't appreciate. I think this year you should tell the truth that you guys don't do your job. And if you need information, you should ask for information that you feel you need. Don't get to.
No, Tiffany, you're wrong. I don't need to ask for this information because the information should be already given to me. If you lock me out the system and you don't send me the credit card receipts because you locked me out the system, how can I approve the bills? We've been asking for this, and I shouldn't have to call you on your phone saying, hey, Tiffany, where's those credit card bills at? Or whoever got the credit card. You're claiming you don't got no credit card, but someone has one because they keep on spending money.
To a board meeting and put on a show. How you gonna lead Trustee House when you don't even know where to start? You have to lead. Stop leading blind. You're leading them blindly, and y'all following him. That's the sad part about it. Prime example. This is a what? Electric warrant list. That means they did what? It's already spent. So how dare you get here and showboat for the people out there in the audience? You already know what it is. So why are we sitting here playing this game, wasting time, saying I'm gonna take this out, that out? It's already been paid. Come on now, stop playing. This is 2024. Let's move forward. Let's handle the business. Stop letting the business handle y'all, because y'all keep coming and playing games. I'm just over it. Like, come on, let's focus on the business, move forward. And if anybody know what our authorities are up here, which let me remind you, if my authority is $5,000, y'all pulling out $200, $100, stop it. If his authority is $20,000, stop it. That's what I'm saying. It's a show. Stop sending the people off. Let's move forward with the business. It's an electric warrant list. That means it has been paid. But go ahead for the optics if y'all want to do that. Call the roll, clerk.
Mayor, you asked for discussion, then I tried to speak and you start talking. So can I?
No, I didn't start talking. I didn't hear you say anything. But if you want to say something, just ask to be recognized again.
Well, can I
We're
be
gonna run this
recognized?
business the way it's supposed to. Let's be respectable. Follow Robert.
She asks for respect, but she doesn't give it. She asks for respect and doesn't give it. And she's so disrespectful. I don't understand how anybody could work under her. These people to the right of her, would that be to or the left? These people to the left of her, they all, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Whatever you say, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They don't know what's going on. They really don't know. And Keith, he's the author of chaos. He's probably the only one who's telling her what to do. But he don't have an accounting degree either.
Rules of order. But go ahead, since you got something to say now.
I do have something to say. It's an electronic warrant list. Electronic. Also, you made it very clear that these have been paid. Last meeting, which I said, and the finance director wasn't here at that time, but I'm so glad she's here now. She stated that we didn't have a credit card anymore because she said the trustees cut it off.
That's true.
Okay. So if we don't have, I requested an email. Could we get the final statement? Because if we haven't received the credit card since May of 2023, and she stated that we cut it off, no documentation has showed that it's been cut off. So what card are they using outside of ACH debits?
Okay, before you start, I'm gonna give you the flow. Let's clear some things up. You guys did cut it off. You guys, hold on, I'm gonna explain it so you'll know. You guys had control of the bank account that Trustee House did illegally, and Clerk Key went illegally and hijacked the bank account for an entire year. You know, like I know, anybody that understand money know that you cannot see anybody's information when someone else is on the bank account. That means the credit card. Hold on, that's what I'm speaking of. You gonna let me finish?
The bank account she's referring to is Tiffany wrote that $500,000 check. And they was like, oh, hell no. So they went to the court and got an injunction to take her name off. Because this fool thought it was okay to write a $561,000 check to some construction company that wasn't even approved by the board. That's where that came from. So she's saying they hijacked the bank account, but no, they didn't. It was court ordered. Since her unresponsibility of her spending, the court ordered them to take her name off. So what is she talking about? You guys put in the chat. What is she talking about?
Go ahead. That's why I said we got to be respectful. You say your stuff, I'll be quiet. You got to be quiet when I talk. So what I'm saying to you is that if you guys have done that, which y'all did as trustees, no one up here could see anything that y'all was doing for an entire year. We didn't have access to anything because Jason House was on the bank account, and so was Allison Key. The mayor wasn't on it. So we couldn't call, check up, check in, see what was going on because you guys was the holders on the account. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to let her respond to your question because you get here at the board meeting and you know how to pick up the phone, call my phone.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll do that this year since you said you want change and you want us to work together. It had to start by starting Trustee Belcher. You can't sit here and say that out your mouth and then don't do it. So we're going to see what happened because you could have called if you had questions instead of coming put on the same show we just did for an entire year. Y'all should be tired of that. Y'all should be ready to actually do some progress in the village besides sit here and we arguing over a warrant list. Come on now. People do work in our village. They should be paid for the work they have done. But yet y'all hold
The warrant list, they're arguing over the money that you're spending. And that's their whole job. You're saying do your job. They do their job. And then you gaslight them for doing their job. What is wrong with this lady? What is wrong with her? Like, somebody tell me, what is wrong with her? She's a tyrant.
The progress, holding people hostage, picking and choosing who y'all want to pay. That's not right. That's discriminatory. You guys are discriminating against people.
And then she using the word discriminatory. Do you even know what discriminatory means? No. If we approved it, they get paid. But you are being, I don't even want to call it discriminatory. You're being just a tyrant. You're being a tyrant.
Because what? They didn't give y'all money for y'all D2s? Like, why do y'all pull people out of this trustee house? Y'all need to stop with the mess. Go ahead, finance director.
Good evening. Our bank accounts do not have a debit card, to be clear. The credit cards are issued by the bank. The last card was canceled or suspended in June by whoever had administrative rights over that account, which is not anyone sitting up here.
Thank you.
That's staff. So the last statement that you received was in June for that account.
Okay, the last statement we received was in May. I said it, and I was very clear when I said it. I said in communication, because you just stated be respectful to people, not you, Tanganyika, I'm talking to the mayor, be respectful, but Janice Johnson had access to the account. So for mayor, for you to sit there and say only the clerk and Jason House, that's an absolute lie, because she cuts the check. So I'm sure she wasn't cutting the check blindly. Also, we have stuff on this list from June. She makes the decisions what checks go out, which I'll tell her to hold and not hold. So that means she had access, because we had emails from the bank that showed the people that had access and control, because at some point you guys stopped letting the clerk and Jason House even see what was in the account, and they had to send the information via email. So don't get up here and say nobody had access to the account, because Janice Johnson, and I'm sure the finance director Tanganyika, had access. Nevertheless, I just want to be very clear, because I requested, if you're saying that it was canceled, show us the June statement that was canceled, because for at some point or some shape, form, or fashion, when you did get back on the bank account and the clerk was on the account at the time, the last statement started showing the American Express card that's been used through the police department, when Tanganyika said there was no credit card at all, when the American Express card originally had $3,000 here, $3,000 there, that we were seeing until we were moved from my viewpoint. Now it's $37,000, $50,000, $28,000. So that means that all of the transactions that was on the Fifth Third account have now been used through the American Express card. I don't care if it's Fifth Third, American Express, U.S. Bank, we're entitled to it. So please just give us access to either accounts payable again on my viewpoint or the credit card, so we don't have to sit here. We can see what you spent it on and move forward. I see something on here that Trustee House took off, which I would have been like, oh, I think I know what that is from the way that it's line item, but I'm not going to sit here and fight a battle that I don't have a receipt for. So just be fair.
Can I address
Go ahead.
Janice had access to see the account, to print out bank balances, which we had to do based on a court order.
Yes.
That's why we provided bank balances daily. That was by court order.
Right, but the mayor just said that nobody had access to it.
Administrative access was only by the two people who were over the account, which they were the only ones who could add or cancel any card on the account. That was not something Janice could do. She
Cool.
did not have that access.
Correct.
And check that Janice cut had to be signed by those two people who had administrative access. Janice could not issue a check without those signatures first.
Preach.
Is there anything else?
No, you got
Trustee House or Clerk Key, did either one of y'all cut off the credit card?
No.
Okay,
We got an
thank you.
email from the bank.
Please forward the email to the Board of
You
Trustees.
can have it tonight.
I've been waiting on a whole lot of stuff.
Okay,
that you said
so-
I had.
Well, you gonna
That-
get an email
I
tonight.
have a comment, Mayor.
Okay, go ahead.
When we're talking about access to the banking information, myself and Clerk Key, checks were printed by the finance department. Checks were presented to myself and the clerk. We would sign the checks, assuming they were approved on the warrant list. Once the checks were signed, they were handed immediately back to the finance department. Now, what happened with the checks beyond that point was beyond Clerk Key and myself's knowledge. Some checks were released, from my understanding, some checks were not released. But that's past the point of our role in that process. Secondly, when we're talking about the credit card, I made no request to cancel a credit card. I would have liked to. I'll be honest with you, I would like to, but I made no changes. Everything was scrutinized through the court. If there was something improperly done, the court would say so. So there was no changes. And then additionally, when we're talking about credit card charges, in order to make a charge on the credit card, you have to have the credit card in your hand. So every item that we're talking about being charged had nothing to do with myself, had nothing to do with Clerk Key. It had to do with the card holder and the person that had the card in their hand. I didn't take any trips. I didn't fly anywhere. I didn't do anything that benefited Jason House or anybody else improper. Every charge we're talking about was done by the card holder. And so whoever authorized that, that's their responsibility. As Trustee Belcher mentioned, all we're really asking for is the documentation and the proof. Personally, I would ask that it be put on the website, so that way it's transparent, because we spend a lot of time in this meeting saying, I sent that, I didn't send it. At this point, please, anything you send to me, put it on the website, I'll get it for myself. Thank you.
Go ahead, Tanganyika. So you keep saying allege. That's not a true statement.
Tanganyika don't know what to say. That's why she's laughing. She doesn't know what the comeback is, because they're both lying. They got to get their lie in order. And so she has to approve what she's going to say. They probably practice this, the rebuttals. They know they're streaming this live, so The board meeting was canceled so they could practice their rebuttals and get their story straight. Tangenique can't say nothing that wasn't approved by Tiffany Henyard because they don't want to incriminate themselves. That's why you saw Tangenique laughing. Let me just go back to her, where she's laughing at. Tangenique was laughing. She was laughing. And that's why she passed on making a rebuttal, because they're not lying. And it's so sad to me that grown people are acting in this manner. Black folks, the sisterly love, brotherly love, 90% of this town is Black folks. Look at her. She laughing like, I don't know what to say. Like a little kid. I don't know what to say. She don't know what to say. Like a little kid. It doesn't make any sense.
Or anybody else improper. Every charge we're talking about was done by the card holder. And so whoever authorized that, that's their responsibility. As Trustee Belcher mentioned, all we're really asking for is the documentation and the proof. Personally, I would say ask that it be put on the website so that way it's transparent, because we spend a lot of time in this meeting saying, I sent that, I didn't send it. At this point, please, anything send to me, put it on the website, I'll get it for myself. Thank you.
Go ahead, Tangenique. So you keep saying allege. That's not a true statement. Allegedly, use it the right way, because when they give you the check, it's the items you voted on, Trustee House. And for the record, it's many a times this body, this board have voted for you guys to sign checks and you refuse to sign the checks at all. So when you state facts, state the truth, state facts that make sense. You're making up things that sound good for you or what you feel that you want doing or whatever with a credit card. Stop. It's all like a spin cycle up here. That's all y'all do. Y'all get up here, we put on the show for the outside world. But yet, if you guys want any information, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say it again. All y'all have to do is ask. All y'all gotta do is call me. I'll tell all y'all that don't none of y'all call me because y'all too busy fighting. Y'all too busy doing a.
They shouldn't call you, Mayor. You're not the dictator. This is not a dictatorship. They don't need to call you. They supposed to be calling the village administrator, the accountant, anything that they need. They shouldn't have to go through you. Who are you? That's why you know this is all jacked up. They don't need to call you, and they shouldn't have to. Let them do their job and stop stonewalling them from doing their job. You know why they're not paying the bills. You know why they approve things to get paid and sign the checks, and it's been sitting on their desk for the longest because Tiffany Henyard say, "Oh, don't pay that. We're gonna have to pay this other bill." That's what they've been doing. They probably don't got no money in their bank account. Literally, they don't. And so that's why they're going back and forth. And that's why Tiffany is getting so offended. She's like shitting in her pants right now because she wants to put on the show saying it's the trustee's fault. And in actuality, it's her fault.
Smear campaign. And all y'all do is call if y'all want any type of information, any. But no one calls my phone. We get to a board meeting and we sit here for hours going back and forth over, you said this, we doing this, this was going on, this person got caught. Like, come on, stop. It's kiddie stuff. It's like, I'm over it. Like, stop. Let's move forward. And all I was saying is y'all making a show about something that's already approved and you pulling it out that's already approved. It don't make sense. It's for what? Optics? To chop up a video? What is for? Because it ain't the truth. I just wish y'all just focus on the truth. That's all I want. So we're going to move forward because we'll be here all night. We on the electric warrant. We still got.
Recognized.
Okay, 1 second. We still got AP warrant list and 3 other items. So go ahead.
Mayor, we in the spirit of working together, because it is 2024, we all just sat up here and stated that our whole goal is to work together for the betterment of the community. When you sit here and you say, you hear me? When you sit here and you say we don't want to go back and forth, we do not want to go back and forth. But then you all say out of your mouths, we have credit card statements that we don't have. They're missing. They're clearly missing if we do not have them, if they were not emailed to us, if they were not sent to us. And as we all know, my viewpoint access, our access has been denied, restricted, should I say. So yes, we can access it, but we cannot look up receipts. I remember as a trustee, you sat in that very seat and you stated to the mayor at the time that you would not blindly vote on bills or options that you met on things that were purchased that you cannot present receipts or evidence for. You stated that out of your mouth as a trustee. So it baffles me that we sit up here and now that you're the mayor, when the very trustees are asking for this information, you're stating in that term, oh, well, we've sent it to you, knowing that you all didn't. We're not asking for anything that you didn't ask for as a trustee. Let's first make that clear. We're also missing financial statements. We haven't received financial statements in months. How is it that as a board, we're over the finances? That's the trustee's job. We keep hearing, oh, well, no one's doing their job. No one's doing their job. This is our job. We are here for checks and balances, whether you all like it or not. So we request the information, it should be provided to us. But yet we sit here and then we have invoices. We have emails every day. Dear Village of Dalton, let's start here. Dear Village of Dalton, I have a payment for work that I've done. I'm going to take out the invoice number for their privacy. Where Village of Dalton they purchased lights. The board approved the lights in June. Here it is. We're in January of the following year. They haven't received payment. Here's another email. Please see email below from the vindicator indicating that he has not received payment or communication on this bill. Payment invoice. Then he have all of these invoices. This object was approved by the board in September, and we're steady waiting for payments. Hold on. There's one more.
Are you done?
No, there's one more. Hold on. Let me locate it. Here we are, 9/11 from this vendor. We called Keith at 12. He said that the check was mailed. We spoke to Janice. They said that the check was mailed. The email was sent. Several calls to the villages, which were all unanswered. Then we sent emails to the following trustees: Jason House, Brittany Norwood, Kiana Belcher. So when we're receiving these invoices and when we're questioning these things, we're not doing it to go back and forth. There has to be some type of transparency. We will not be able to work forward as a village if we don't have transparency. And that's all we're asking for. If you don't want to email us the receipts or provide us with the receipts, make it easy. Provide us back with access with my viewpoint so that we're not back and forth. But I just want to state for the record that it's unfair that as a mayor, you don't see fit for us to receive this information. But as trustee, this is the very thing that you were fighting for: transparency. Thank you, Mayor.
For the record, trustee, you guys get everything that we have. We send an email, you get the financial reports, you get everything, and I've shown that in videos. Now you want me to go do some more work and show you again that you get what we tell you you should have.
This is what I don't understand. If we're trying to be amicable, and if I'm trying to prove them wrong, if I was Tiffany Henyard, I will order my staff, instead of sticking up for them and keep on saying, oh, you got this, you got that, because we know they don't have it. Because 4 people are saying they didn't have it. Even if you did send it again. We're going to go through this video, and there's at one point where Trustee House has some statements that he wanted to take off some of the AP lists or the budget lists, and they wanted him to email everybody so they could print it out. And he did it right during the meeting. If I was the accountant and I knew who had that credit card, or even saying, oh, I know they're claiming that they had a email saying, oh, we canceled this credit card, I will find that email and send it to them. They all got their computer. Why can't you do that? But instead, she wants to say, oh, you did receive it. And she looks like an idiot. When people do that kind of stuff, everyone, they know they're lying.
Now, as it relates to transparency, we have been nothing but transparent here at the Village of Dalton. You guys can do spin cycles, scare tactics, tell people that we're not when we are. At the end of the day, I keep stating this: if it's something that you don't feel comfortable with when you come to this meeting, you have literally 48 hours to make sure you reach out, ask questions, bring up an invoice, talk about a receipt, whatever it is. But y'all all choose not to, because this is your only time to get on a platform and talk or say whatever you want to say. When y'all really, if you're gonna be adult about it, call somebody's phone, ask the question. But y'all don't. So now when y'all get up here, you point the finger: this person ain't doing this person ain't doing that. Well, all y'all have to do is pick up a phone, call, get your questions answered. You have everything that you need. But yet we got to sit here and throw tantrums and go back and forth with one another about what you said, you did, you didn't get, all of that. Like, come on. Like I said, y'all should be tired of it. Y'all can't keep coming up here making the same excuses when y'all not doing y'all job. That's really what it boils down to. Until y'all do y'all job, y'all can stop with the mess. Miss me with all that in 2024, because we here to do the business. So with that being said, call the roll, clerk. Let's move on.
You are stopping me from doing my job. Like I said, if I was Tiffany, I will pull their card. I will prove everybody wrong. If she's so adamant about this, I will prove everybody wrong. I would direct my accountant, my administrator, to send them the list or whatever they're requesting. I wouldn't be embarrassed and say, because this is what she should feel ashamed, because your trustees are saying that they have limited access on financial information, and their whole job is to control the finances of the village. So who is wrong in this? I mean, just the outside looking in, if you like Tiffany or you don't like Tiffany, from the outside looking in, just common sense. If someone was claiming that I was doing wrong and I was stonewalling them from doing their job, four of them, I would prove them wrong in this meeting. I wouldn't make no damn video. You got your computer. Send me the information you said you sent me. Find the email that you said you sent and forward it back to me. Shouldn't that be easy? Wouldn't that be easy? You put a title in the email, subject credit card statement, subject warrant bill list or whatever. You should be able to find it. But instead of doing that, she goes on this tyrant and start lying to people, saying, oh, you are not doing your job. And how dare you keep on asking for this information because we already sent it to you. Well, how in the world have you already sent it to me if I keep on asking for it?
We got another warrant list, please.
Clerk Key, is this vote for with the amendments?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay. Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
No.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
No.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion
Okay,
passed.
moving on. Like that was pointless. That was just dumb. So now moving on.
It wasn't pointless. It wasn't pointless. Because when FBI go back to all these things and start auditing your financials, they're going to be looking at you crazy because you claim that you already paid these credit card bills and it wasn't even approved. The credit card bills that you don't have a credit card, allegedly.
AP warrant list. Trustee Stan Brown.
AP warrant list, January the 2nd, 2024. Corporate payment register, $2,537,872.56. Gross payroll, December the 1st, 2023, $442,198.62. Gross payroll, December the 15th, 2023, $468,898.71. Gross payroll, December the 29th, 2023, $520,000. Additional payroll check, $362.06. Melanie Fitness Center register, $14,502.20. Total corporate payments, $3,983,834.15.
All right, is that your motion?
It's a motion to accept these bills as read.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
The motion and second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor. I also have a superseding motion
All right.
for this list as well.
Okay.
I would like to request the bills as read with the following items removed. Page 9, existing concrete, $14,123.03. Page 10, 5-star, $62,375. Page 12, John's Pro Tree Services, $155,000. Page 13, K&M Ventures, $183,950. Page 14, Lopez Lawn Maintenance, $10,050. Page
So Trustee House, he's just going by line item. They're going to get mad at this, of course. She's going to get mad at this.
And yet we continue to go out and get new bills and accumulate new things without following a budget, without a plan, just willy-nilly, hey, go over here, ask for payment for things that were approved. Be more specific.
$983,800.
Again, I emailed without a response on December 15th. That was approved in July.
I'm just trying to get
As
to.
Trustee Norwood mentioned, and I've sent, as you asked, I've sent several emails about vendors who have asked for payment for things that were approved. Be more specific, Third Millennium and Associates, in the email on December 1st, they indicated $17,000, which was approved in August. Pure Tech, 32,500. Email sent on December 19th. They were approved in August. LED lighting. That's the stop signs, the flashing stop signs look really good. $17,999.80. That was emailed to on 12/19 asking for status. That was approved in April. Mako, $20,000. That was emailed on December 11th. That's for payment of multiple invoices. And D's Construction, $378,620.64. Again, I emailed without a response on December 15th. That was approved in July. That's the reason for my question is just to confirm, I have your word on record. So that's my statement. Thank you.
Okay. So why do you guys keep?
So I skipped the part, but House was asking, once these bills are approved, how long does it take for you guys to release the payment to the vendor? That's what he basically asked. Of course, the bills that he just read off, those been approved long before, and they never paid them. They signed the check, but it's been sitting on somebody's desk. I guess the lady who cuts the checks. And of course, your girl Tiffany, she gets mad. She gets mad for anybody that questioned her, because how dare you approve your bills to pay and you didn't approve my bills to pay, and you're just being mean to me. No, your bills, the things that you're spending, wasn't even, we didn't budget for these items. It seems like the budgeting went out the door when she became the mayor. She was sticking to the budget prior when she was a trustee, but now that she's a mayor, I don't have to follow a budget because I'm the mayor. She's the queen. She's the queen for the day, so she doesn't need to follow the budget. She thinks her word, it ends all. It stops and ends there when she says it. And she doesn't. And she doesn't have that authority or that power. You're the mayor. You're not the queen.
Taking things out of the warrant list that the people need. Why would y'all take out the concrete company? Why y'all keep taking stuff out that matters to the residents? Help me understand that, Trustee House. Why did you take that out?
So the items that I take out.
No. I'm talking about that one item right there. Concrete. Why did you take that out? How do public works keep going? If y'all take out people that supply us with things for water main breaks, because we had a whole issue when y'all did the same dance show when it was Thanksgiving, and we didn't have any cold patch. We didn't have nothing because you guys took it out of the warrant list. So how do you provide for the residents when y'all play this game?
Would you like me to respond?
You should respond.
Okay. My statement's been the same for the last 4 months. We have bills that are piling up that are way past due, cannot afford them. And yet we continue to go out and get new bills and accumulate new things without following a budget, without a plan, just willy-nilly. Hey, go over here. You get a plane ticket. You get some restaurant food. So at the end of the day, we have to pay all of our back stuff. Public Works again. Has Public Works been paid yet? They're back paid for 4 years? Now we're past due. That's a lawsuit that they can file at any given moment. We also have other unions that are 4 years past due. We have tons of bills way past due in addition to the bills that I just read into record that need to be taken care of. So if those bills get taken care of first, pay your old bills first, then we'll look at the new bills. That's my stance. Thank you.
Okay, so that's excuses, because at the end of the day, we still got to provide the service of the resident.
It's not excuses. When you don't have enough money coming in, you got to, be conscious of your spending, Tiffany. This is why Tiffany, she's going to go down in history to be the worst mayor. The worst mayor. She just took this whole office and made a mockery of it.
Regardless of your thought or how you feel about things and how it's ran, our job is still make do with what we have. So right now, if we have to order concrete or need like I just said, a water main fix, a whole patch, it's people that call us every day about things like that. But you guys sit here and play this silly game and not take care of the people. Your job is to provide for the residents. Yet you guys won't even pass a tax levy. You guys won't even pass a budget. All these things warranted, the things that you're asking to be paid, such as union negotiation contracts. And you just stated, for the record, you've been here, 6 years now? So 4 years ago, you just stated, right? 4 years ago, you was the same trustee sitting there, right? So these are the same problems y'all had 4 years ago. All we're doing is trying to clean up what have been broken for so long. And if you guys would just work with me and stop fighting on every little thing, we will be a whole lot further as a community. There's no unity here. All you guys is create chaos. Y'all chaos agents. That's all y'all do is go and create mess, but with no solution. Name one thing y'all have came up with done in this community. Nothing. All y'all do is say, point finger. Oh, she doing this. Oh, he doing that. But y'all ain't did nothing for other people. So, prime example, I'm arguing with y'all over concrete. Concrete. That's way within our purchasing power. If our purchasing power is $20,000, we put it on there to be transparent, for the record, because y'all keep wanting to use that word. But all I'm asking you guys is do what's right. Stop picking and choosing people to not pay. If they did the work, pay them. What is the issue? Pay them. Y'all voted last time to pay. Well, not y'all. That's when Tammy.
No, that's not true. Just because they did the work, because you pat in your pocket for everybody to get their work done and get money from the village of Dalton, if the board of trustees didn't approve the work, then why would they pay it? Because you got your cousins and them doing work for the city, so you can get your payment. And going around to businesses, threatening them, close them because they're not using your contractors. Or threaten not to give them a certificate of occupancy because they didn't use your contractors. Like I said, Tiffany thinks it's her town. That's why when you drive through the village of Dalton, you see her damn name plastered everywhere. Her picture, because she thinks she owns the village of Dalton in Thornton Township.
Brown flipped on y'all, voted to pay everybody, including her friends. But yet you and the clerk chose not to even sign the checks. Y'all don't even sign the checks after the board voted to. Y'all just say this how the game go, right? We put it up, they vote for it, and whatever check come up, we supposed to sign them. Y'all didn't sign them at all. So let's talk about how you still got things sitting. Things sit because y'all refuse to sign the checks. So if you refuse to sign the checks, what does that mean? That's my problem. Y'all have to do better, Trustee House. You can't want to lead people and can't lead, man. You got to do better. I keep telling you, just because you got a suit don't make you suitable. Stop.
You see how insulting she is? And I'm glad Trustee House is sitting there and being the man, because he could have got real disrespectful with Tiffany. She's very disrespectful. I'm surprised nobody's ever actually attacked her, because the way she act, she will get slapped. Like, I could see somebody really going there with her because her mouth is horrible. And that's probably why she don't got no man. Well, she has a married man, allegedly.
Stop. You got to do better than what you're doing right now. And right now, you're doing is keeping up confusion, keeping up mess. You got to grow, man. All right, moving on.
Can I please make a
You got to grow, man. Got hot girl, man. You got to grow, man. You know, just because you got a suit on, that don't mean you suited for it. Like, what's this? This ghetto child right here. She's a ghetto mess.
statement?
Yep, make a statement.
4 years ago, we were not in this mess. 4 years ago.
Yes, we were.
So, correction. We were not in this mess. We were paying bills. We did not have vendors emailing us on a weekly basis for non-payment. Yes, I did approve to pay my friend, and it is January 2024, and my friend still ain't paid. Along with other
because your other friends didn't sign the check. So let's get that right.
Let's just make it, be for real. Be 100. People are not being paid. So this is nothing that nobody's doing a grandstand show. The emails are here. If anybody would like to see them, I can print you a copy, and I will block out the other information. So yes, again, we were not in this mess 4 years ago. We were able to pay our vendors because we followed the budget. That's the reason why you make a budget, and it is to be followed, not to spend and do as you want to do nilly-willy. Thank you.
Okay, not true, trustee. Let me take you down memory lane. Ooh. Don't y'all have somebody from 5 Star and remember came for this body, and y'all owe him.
You see, she gotta have the last word, tit for tat. She's saying, "Oh, remember we did this. Remember they did that." They didn't have a $7 million deficit, Tiffany. 4 years ago, they didn't have a $7 million deficit. So let's start there, okay? So whatever you about to say after that, it doesn't matter. It's null and void. They didn't have a $7 million deficit. People wasn't calling them, threatening to sue them because of the payment.
Second.
It's been motion and second. Any discussion?
Yes, can I be recognized?
Go ahead.
Okay, for one, I don't understand how it's new business and you keep putting it on the agenda every period. So I'm going to ask the attorney and refer to the attorney. At what point, if it keeps voting down, is there something that says it cannot go?
Nope, I'm going to put it up on the agenda every board.
Okay, I asked the attorney. I asked the attorney.
And I just answered.
Okay, so then my next thing is, because she sit here and tell these lies.
This is what I don't like. You're getting a question from the attorney. The attorney should say, "Hey, no, I'm going to answer this." This is why that attorney shouldn't even be the attorney. She's not working for the village. Is this your own personal attorney? So the attorney can't speak unless the mayor approves for the attorney to speak. This is ridiculous.
To say that we're paying an attorney She has not paid the attorney. She wants total control. So she thinks that she's the only person that can have an attorney. And then we have no legal representation. That's for the board. If you look at the budget for anybody that was here during the time when they had a fictitious town hall meeting, which that's what they call it, it says $455,000 was spent in actuals for legal counsel. $432,000 of that went to Delgado. So when people sit here and they sit there and talk about what they got receipts for, what they don't have receipts for, she has not paid Bert Oderson. So as long as Bert Oderson, McGrath, or anybody else want to give us free legal advice at this point, pending payment, we're going to accept it. So you can put it on at every meeting until one of us is absent, 2, 3, 4 of us is absent. But you're not going to sit here and keep trying to control the situation where your attorney, because he made it perfectly clear, he worked for you, he don't work for us. We didn't hire him as corporate counsel. We hired Delgado firm as the prosecuting counsel. So technically, we don't even have corporate counsel. But for you to sit here and keep lying, saying that we are paying somebody that you know has no check has been cut, you need to stop. It's ridiculous. And you sit here and talk about, I did this, I did that, they lied, they lied. She sat here and just pulled up a piece of paper. If you got something that said that it canceled it, and I'm sure all of y'all, including you, was on the email, we requested it, why wouldn't you give it to us? But you say we sit here and wait till we get here to ask the question. If she had something, she should have sent it to us. Then we wouldn't even have the discussion. But for you to sit here and keep sitting lying, talking about somebody, first, we can go back, pull the meetings up because she's good for pulling them up. First, she said we paid them $600,000. Then we paid them almost $1 million. But if you look at the actuals, only $455,000 been spent in legal costs, and most of it went to Delgado. So who lying? All right, you finished? All right, go ahead, Sanjay.
Oderson was not budgeted for it in the budget.
Thank you. Legal counsel did not have no description
you
of who it
order.
is.
Let her
So
finish.
Oderson was.
You see how
So
you
a
quiet
liar
her,
too.
you got to be quiet.
I asked him on what page was Oderson budgeted for. I still have
Legal expenses.
Trustee, let her finish. You see how we be quiet and let you do your little rant? Be quiet. Let her talk. She got the floor.
I am
It's
not
her time.
justice. You're not telling
It's
me
her
to be
time.
quiet.
You have to be quiet.
No, I'm not
Go ahead, Tanjanique.
I just wanted to make it clear that was not budgeted for.
Legal expenses.
Oh my God. That's your
Again, it was not
problem.
budgeted
That's your
for.
problem.
Be quiet.
It was not amended and added. It was not budgeted for, and it is not included this year either.
Legal expenses
Okay,
does
thank-
not show any
Trustee,
specific
you cannot
thing. Legal
overtalk her.
expenses.
Let her get her point out like you just did your rant. So you have to be quiet to hear her side, like we was quiet to hear your side. Stop. Point of order. Follow Robert rules of order, please. Go ahead. Go ahead,
If it
Tanjanique.
was not cut, that does not mean the expenses were not incurred, and you're putting the village of Dalton on the line to pay those expenses.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miller.
So as we go on, and we talk about this and we go back and forth, as you can see, people are so out of order, so disrespectful. You got to give respect in order to get it. If we talk and we be quiet, you got to give us the same courtesy. Ain't nobody interrupt you, whether you was lying or not. We shut up and we listen to your lie. Now you be quiet and let the finance director respond to you, like how we just did with you. As it relates to y'all attorney don't do nothing. So if you saying free help, give that back. Because if it's free, it shouldn't be for you because he ain't winning no cases for you. So why would you even have a person like that around if they causing the village, the taxpayer money? Also,
Does that even make any sense? She told him not to have her attorney because they ain't winning. She said, why you paying them? He ain't winning no cases. Tiffany got off the chain, boy. This girl is too much for TV.
y'all walked out of that last board meeting, right? Y'all didn't pay no bills. Reminding you that we still got public works, police, fire, all these expenses, the day-to-day operation, the light bills, the gas bill, all the things to run a business was still at stake. But y'all walked out. Tire your month went by, right? That's what I'm talking about. Y'all don't care because who walks?
They did approve in that special board meeting. They approved the bills. So I don't know what she's talking about.
Out on the people. I don't care whatever y'all want to bring up about fighting back in the day or whatever, but I never walked out on the people, but y'all did several times. Y'all walked out on the $33 million lawsuit. That's why we got the $33 million lawsuit right now. Y'all walked out again at the last board meeting. Y'all walked out on everything.
Just to segue into that $33 million lawsuit, that's not truly accurate. Let me just share this tab with you. So the guy, there was a accident, or I guess it was a car chase with the police, and it involved a deadly crash in 2016 involving the police. So that's what she's talking about. I don't know why she said they walked out on the lawsuit. I mean, that would be just legal counsel. Maybe they settled, maybe. But I know the judge ordered them to pay $33 million. And that should be covered. I don't know why that would be the trustee problem, because you do have insurance. I mean, so it's probably coming out their insurance premium or whatever. But why is she trying to put that on the trustees? I'm not for sure. But this is
$2.5 million will be paid out to the family of a man killed during an attempted police stop in Dolton and another man who was severely injured in that case. CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey joins us live with the details on this chase. And Megan, the families tell you that justice has been almost 6 years in the making.
Right, Joe and Erica, this incident happened back in October of 2016. A jury here at the Daly Center awarded the family of the man that died $10 million and the man who suffered a traumatic brain injury $23 million.
Blasting through stop sign after stop sign after stop sign, chasing a driver who is showing no sign of stopping. Police are supposed to ask themselves, is it worth it if somebody innocent is going to get hurt?
John Christopher Kyles pictured here is the man who lost his life. The second photo is Dwayne Dunlap, the man who was severely injured. Both were passengers in a car driven by a man named Demetrius Sorrells. According to the lawsuit, Sorrells skidded through a stop sign near Greenwood Road and Sibley Boulevard in Dalton. That's when the lawsuit says Dalton police executed a high-speed chase exceeding 80 miles per hour and passing through multiple stop signs. A lawyer for one of the officers argues with the fact that it was a pursuit, saying that the officers were, quote, attempting to make a traffic stop. The chase lasted about a mile until the car crashed behind the New Zion Covenant Church. Kyles was killed, and attorneys say Dwayne Dunlap suffered severe permanent injuries. The driver, Demetrius Sorrells, was charged with reckless homicide and named alongside the village of Dalton in the lawsuit. Court filings also stated that Dalton has one of the highest, if not the highest, rates of police chases in Illinois. In the 5 years prior to the chase, Dalton had been involved in approximately 50 police chases. About half resulted in crashes involving personal injury or death or property damage. Dwayne Dunlap's mother told us the settlement doesn't make them whole, but it does help them cover his vast medical expenses.
It's not going to make them well, but it'll make us have them a comfortable life.
This is about your responsibility. And what happened yesterday is that a jury of Cook County citizens didn't bring back John Kyles, didn't make Dwayne Dunlap whole again, but signaled loud and clear with the magnitude of this verdict that what happened was wrong.
Now, a spokesperson for the village of Dalton tells us this incident was unfortunate and happened under a previous administration. They are considering the potential of a follow-up appeal. Now, a lawyer for one of those officers did tell us that the verdict rendered by the jury had nothing to do with the actions of Dalton police officers.
Yeah, it does. Okay. It does. Stop chasing people. If you know it's okay, they ran the stop sign, you're going to chase them for 80 miles per hour. That's just stupid. Anyway, Tiffany's trying to hang that on the board of trustees. What does it have to do with? They had nothing to do with the police actions. Okay. You're going to get, if somebody died in the police chase, more likely the city's going to get sued, whether or not it's their fault or not. All the jury hears is, hey, you could have stopped following. What was it? They're running from a scene from a mass murder? Like, no. So why even chase them? It's just reckless endangerment. But I don't know why Tiffany thought it was okay for her to say, oh, the board, yeah, you guys walked out on this lawsuit. Like, what does that have to do with the board of trustees in the police force action? Nothing. Anyway, she does like to gaslight people. She likes to gaslight people, and that's her whole ammo in her defense.
Y'all got to sit here and sit in the fire. If you don't like it, so be it. But that's what discussion is for. We go back and forth, hopefully find a happy medium. If we do not, then guess what? Then them people just don't get paid because y'all chose not to pay them for whatever reason that you thought you shouldn't pay them. And it's warranted. That's what I'm tired of. Y'all should pay people after they have done the work. When there are storms in our community, we had a storm, right? What was y'all faces? I ain't seen not one of y'all on the block. I ain't seen not one of y'all helping nobody. Not one. Trees was on cars, trees was on houses. And guess what? The day before, y'all chose not to pay them vendors. But every single vendor came out and took care of the people. Every one of them. That's because of what? You network, relationships. They didn't want to leave the people high and dry. So they said, you know what, Mayor, we got you. We're going to come out and we're going to make sure the people are taken care of. That's what I do as a leader. You guys just talk and talk about nothing and ain't producing.
That's what I do as a leader. You're not a leader. You're more like a dictator. And if you had the power to kill people, you probably would start killing people because they don't agree with you. You're a tyrant. A mayor that went rogue. You don't represent Black women. That angry, bitter madness, you don't agree. You're mad because people don't agree with you. You're really upset because your butt was hauled off to the FBI and they was questioning you. That's what you're really upset about. But you're pushing that anger off on other people and taking it out on people because you think they caused your problems and you caused them yourself. You caused your own problems. That's why you probably gonna be in jail with that orange. You see, you got an orange jacket on. You got orange and black. You're gonna just get used to that color because that's what you'll be wearing for a few years.
Who said nothing? And that's my problem. Y'all talk, but ain't putting in no action and no work. At least my work speaks for itself. No matter what y'all want to put up.
As the trustee, I don't need to go out and start shoveling snow. It's a good look, but why would I start shoveling snow and lifting up trees and all that? That's not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to protect the citizens' money, okay? I'm supposed to spend the citizens' money responsibly. And you are not being responsible. Tiffany Henyard is not being responsible.
Against me, go lie to people, bring media here. Who tears down a town? Like, think about that for a minute. Y'all black. Look how we fight. African-American community fighting like this. Over what? A title, a seat? I told you all our bench warmers. Everybody got to go. At the end of the day, you wait your time. You wait your turn. Your turn ain't here yet. We don't run to 2025. And then you let it be what it be. Like I said, then you come and run against me. But all that little fake stuff y'all be trying to do, it ain't working.
Why would you claim that, oh, we're black and we do this? You started out your tenure, your mayor tenure, as Nino Brown talking about, bitch, better have my money. Who does that? Who's the showboater? Who's the showboater? You are.
And it ain't gonna work. As he said, any weapon formed against me ain't gonna prosper. So y'all should stop. Call the roll, Clerk Key.
Mayor, I have a comment.
Now you got something else. Go ahead.
So just the entire meeting is set up for an argument. Information is not given to the board. And then we get in here, it's set up to say, yes, I did. I keep asking the same thing. Let's put it on the website. We don't have to go back and forth. We don't have to do any of this show. The same item has been put on the agenda for the last 9 meetings. I'm exaggerating. But the mayor did say she's going to keep on putting it up there, knowing that there's not enough support for it. It's set up just for us to come in here and argue. That's the whole intention. Come in here and argue and then state, I don't want to go back and forth. I mean, we know most people say definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. It's insane to put up the same item knowing it doesn't have support. But it's set up for the argument, it's set up and then to twist it and say, oh, board, you're doing this and you're doing that. It really doesn't make sense, but if it has to be voted, put up there 9 times, put up there 15 times for us to go and do it. But just understand, we talk about why the whole back and forth, the meeting is set up that way. As board members, we can look at the packet. And I'm sure the mayor, everybody looks at the package by now and say, oh, that one right there, that's going to be the argument. Corporate bills, we know that's where it go up. So but I don't think even most people tune in until about an hour into the meeting, so that way they get to corporate bills. But again, the meeting is set up for an argument. Sorry that it's set up that way, and hopefully we'll do different in the next meeting. Thank you.
Trustee, that's definitely not true. And then you should basically.
It is true, Tiffany. What are you doing now? You're arguing over the same bills. Like, what are you talking about? She wants to argue just to argue. You said at the beginning of the meeting, you guys do this show and dance and pony show. You should just call me and pick up the phone. You know, you saying just do your job. If you want something, just pick up the phone. But when they request stuff, you don't give it to them. You don't give it to them. You guys, all these guys have their computers. If somebody was calling me out saying, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, I wouldn't just sit on my hands. I will be forward them. Did you get that email? Did you get that email? I just sent it again. Did you get that email? You got a printer connected. You got your laptop connected to the printer. Let me print that out for you. I'll pull that card. If you're so right and innocent, Tiffany, but you're lying. So everything he's saying, everything these 4 people are saying, the 4 trustees, she has a rebuttal against it, even though they said practically the same thing she said.
Pause on the things you actually say. If it's set up for argument, then why take the bait? Stop it, because it ain't set up for argument. The whole point is to show people that y'all are full of crap. Y'all put things up on here. Y'all spend taxpayer money. Y'all do all this wasteful spending, but point the finger at the lone wolf, the one that's still standing, right?
So now she's trying to say, oh, you're doing it. You're doing this uncontrollable spending. You're doing that, not me. You're spending the taxpayers' money, not me. No, we're budgeting for the items that we budgeted for, and that's what we spend our money on. But you, Tiffany, you and your people that you get, your contractors, the people that you probably got kickbacks from, you're the one is spending money frivolously. And now you're just trying to tell the residents of Dalton, and even if the Dalton residents wouldn't have any sense, common sense would tell any resident that's listening to this or sitting in the audience, hey, when at that time they started printing out paper from the computer, or she had her paper up saying, oh, here's the email saying we canceled the credit card statement. You got a copier right there. Why didn't you copy it? Everybody sees that. Like, matter of fact, it's really insulting for the residents of Dalton Village to think that they don't see the bullshit that you're pulling. You think they're so stupid and you're so smart.
The one that's still standing, y'all point the finger at me when it's you guys that's really running them up. You 4. Trustee House, Trustee Belcher, Trustee Norwood, and Trustee Tammy Brown, who don't read nothing. She listens.
And then another thing, Tiffany's probably viewing these videos, these hate videos about her, because I know I use the word running amok. There's other channels use the word running amok. So she's probably getting really irritated that people are doing hit pieces about her, and then you're getting pressured from the FBI. You're probably getting FOIA requests that you're probably ignoring from the Attorney General. So there is a lot of pressure on her, and she's probably shitting her pants. That's why she's acting in this manner. Classic narcissist behavior. Hey, I feel the pressure, and now I know I'm guilty, but now I got to change it. I got to change this viewpoint of people viewing me in a negative light. I got to make you guys look bad. And all the stuff that she's saying is baseless, and she's gaslighting the Board of Trustees. The Board of Trustees is literally to handle the financials of the city. That's literally their whole job, to decide what to do with the taxes or the income of the village. And how can you decide that if you get stonewalled? How can you do your job successfully if you have your whole administration, the accountant, the administrator, the HR director? She got a new HR director, I noticed that. The lawyer that is not, they should be neutral, but she's not. They're probably going to end up with some lawsuits. You got all these people that's working under you, and you got them under the thumb and telling them what to do. Instead of them doing their job and sticking up for themselves and say, oh no, this is what I've been hired to do, and I'm going to remain neutral to do my job.
Listen to what y'all tell her to do and come and vote accordingly. So state facts. And I have all the proof always of everything y'all lie about. But yeah, we got to put on a show like we always do to sit here, go back and forth for hours about nothing when y'all can just do right. All right, Colorado.
Yeah, I know we still in discussion. Yeah, we still in discussion. I know she had a speech, but I was waiting.
What is that? I can't hear you. I hear no. You just
I
said
said we were in discussion still, so I said I know you were talking, so I was waiting on you. But
you got something to say, Trustee?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
And this is just for the record, and I'll keep it fast. It's an hypocrisy for me. Again, as trustee, she sat in this very seat, and when she felt the mayor was withholding information that she was entitled to, she did the exact same thing, which is get their own special counsel. So when we have this discussion, and it's like this is some foreign that just these set of trustees decided to do, just for the record, it is not. This is what people have to do when they have a leadership that is not transparent. Thank you.
Trustee, you ain't getting the flow no more. You repeat the same thing every time.
Okay.
You need to
That's
stop
for the
repeating the
record.
same
Just in
thing. Just for the record, I'm just letting you know. We done with that. Move on. Call the roll.
And then why would you do that? Just let the lady speak, state her piece. Who cares if she says the same thing? You've been saying the same thing for the last 3 hours. We've been listening to you, so you can listen to her. And she's literally the only one that's been remaining calm about the whole situation. Well, Trustee House has, because I know he probably wanted to get really upset with her, but the only one to remain calm. And then you got these two guys up here. They probably like, what the hell is going on? Or they used to it. The police chief, and I guess this is the fire commissioner. What the hell is going on?
Call the roll.
Ma'am, can I?
You got something?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to say, to us as trustees, in December we had 3 paydays, and you had individuals on the police force, the fire department, and public works. They were wondering if they was gonna get paid and money for the holiday. We actually had a payday December 1st, December 15th, December 29th, and for us to not to even approve that was totally unfair and disrespectful to these individuals that was worried about were they going to even get a check for the holiday. So that's just something to think about. When you just walk out like that, that's unfair to them. That's unfair to them and their family.
All right. Call the roll. Call the roll.
They got paid, but we had a meeting on the 4th, and we.
He's saying that like they didn't get paid. They did get paid because on December the 5th, they had another meeting about the budget and they approved it. You only need 4 people to approve the budget, or, the majority. So he's, what his name, Stan Brown or whatever his name is. You're just saying that to say, to make the other trustees look bad. Like the police officers and the public works department did not get paid. They received their paycheck. So stop lying. They need to stop it with the madness. Stop trying to act like, oh, you didn't approve the bill, so we didn't pay the regular employees. Stop it. Stop it with the madness.
We got the holiday coming up. We got the holiday coming up.
Everyone was paid.
Hey, Jason, I don't need glasses on when I talk. Yeah, I don't need glasses on when I talk. So let well enough alone. Stay with that lane where you at, because I'm just putting the point out here for people to understand what's going on up here. So it's going back and forth, and I'm not going to participate in the little back and forth going, but I'm just looking at individuals that have spoke to me about this. So I just want to relate it to you guys.
You on the board. What are you talking about? You on the board, they got paid. So why are you saying that? Like, he don't know his job either. And he's over isn't he over the water department? Double dipping. How in the world can you be the trustee and the water department director?
So when you just up and walk out of a meeting, think about other people that's going to be involved in that. You're not just going straight at the man, because what it is now.
And they didn't just walk out the meeting. They adjourned the meeting. The meeting should have ended. You guys had a rogue meeting. So stop it. Stop it with the madness.
Anybody around the mayor, just take it out on them. You don't care about the residents, such as you guys say, and you talk strong about the retro pay for public works. When you start worrying about public works, so now we getting all that, and we know what's happening right now. But I just want to put that on your head that you walked out with 3 paychecks for that December. They got paid. Yeah, they got paid. But it was just a threat you put on them when you walked out the meeting on. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, clerk, call the roll, please.
Thank you. This roll is for termination of contract for Otis and Murphy, Frazier, and McGrath as legislative counsel. Trustee Norwood. Trustee Stan Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
No.
Trustee House.
No.
Trustee Holmes.
Yes.
Trustee Belcher.
No.
Motion failed.
And for the record, residents, he tried to take $2 million from our insurance policy. So it's a shame that they keep up with the mess. But stay tuned. Stay tuned. Next, is there a motion for approval of the 2023-2024 annual appropriation ordinance/budget? Is there a motion?
I have a motion with amendments.
Okay, go ahead.
My motion is to approve the ordinance I'm going to read into record. There are several amendments, and then I will.
Did you give that to our team, whatever the amendments are?
This is where they start telling him to email, print it out. We don't know. You need to talk about what the description, the line item is. Hey, and so she tried to spin it. You don't want to spend money on the things that we need, okay? But no, I'm just approving, deducting, or changing the actual budget back the way it was. We don't know, we don't need an increase in budget. We need to just keep it the way it is because we don't know where this money is coming from. That's what his whole sentiment was. But they want to improve overtime. I think $900,000 in overtime. For what? You got 20,000 people. Why are you collecting almost $1 million in overtime? That doesn't make any sense. This is for the police force and the fire department. Anyway, let him tell me if it makes sense.
My statement, I will.
Can you give them that? Can you print that so they can follow whatever you're speaking of?
I do not have a printer right here, man.
So see how you ain't come prepared, but you want us just to listen, and you already got your mind made up of what y'all gonna do. But these are the department heads that should understand what it is you're trying to take out of their departments.
Okay, so my motion is.
Can you send that to us now so we can print it so we can follow you? Can you email that to Keith Freeman so we can print it out so they can follow you, so they can understand what it is you're about to do for their department with the amendments?
Sure. Oh, let me connect.
And print that so that everybody up here can have it.
At this time, she humming. Like, really? Why are you humming in the mic? Like a little child. At this time, Belcher is going to ask Keith Freeman to also print out the email she held up saying, oh, here's the email that we canceled the credit cards. And he never did print it out. He didn't go copy it and print it out. The printer's back there, I guess, somewhere in this office or whatever. They didn't even do that. So if you wasn't lying, why, and you got the proof right there, why wouldn't you tell him to make the copies and give it to everybody that's on the board?
Yeah, why she doing?
And if I was him and her two henchmen, I would literally be like, oh yeah, I want to see that too. These, but they don't sit there and say nothing like, oh, we don't get it or we did get it. And if they did get it, like, oh, you sent it to us. Brown and I forget what this other guy, the older guy, well, both of them are old, but this other guy, Step Infection, if you got it, oh, I'll send it to you. Because he sent it to everybody, right? To me, it doesn't make any sense.
Motion is to approve the budget as presented with the following adjustments. Line 01-00344, reduce $6.8 million. Line 01-00344.2, increase $200,000. Line 0100-391, decrease $525,000.
Why don't you tell the public what that stuff is? You just saying line items and not telling them what it is.
Line 01-12-420, reduce $110,000. Line 01-12.
What is that, trustee?
Mayor, you're gonna get a printed copy.
But no, hold on, pause. Don't tell me to get a printed copy.
Fit.
Tell the public what you are decreasing and increasing. You talking about transparency? Be transparent. Because right now you're just saying numbers.
And you can
tell the public. No. You should tell the public what you're doing right now. You want to be transparent? Go ahead, tell them. So we all know what that line item is. They don't know what 01.22 is. Tell the public what that line item is, so they all understand it.
Line 01-12-421, reduce $50,000. Line 01-12.
That's a shame. You can't even tell the public what you're reducing, why you're doing it.
123.
Trustee.
Reduce $62,000. Line 01-12-424, reduce $25,000. Line 01-12.
And this how stuff get hit. Y'all don't even know what them numbers are.
Line 01.
And Trustee House, he probably irritated. He like, I'm just gonna keep on reading these line items. I'm going to keep on reading these line items, and I don't care what you got to say about it. You want to be uncivil towards me, so I'm just going to keep on reading these line items. And I'm glad he's doing this, because this is him doing this, saying, no, you don't control what I'm doing. I'm a man. You can't control me. I'm glad he's doing this. I'm a grown man. You can't control me.
22-426, reduce 27,500. Line 01-22-428, reduce 400,000. Line 01-22453, reduce 25,000. Line 01-22611, reduce 40,000. Line 01-25-421, reduce 25,000. Line 01-41-421, reduce 300,000. Line 01-41-520.
And turn your mic off. You having these side conversations, you're being very disrespectful. Stop it.
Say
it. Decrease 250,000. Line 01-41-557, reduce 250.
But okay, here we go. Let me see. He ain't got it like where it's itemized like it should be. He got salaries and administration. You want to reduce it by $110,000. You took away the grants of $6,800,000. You took away the CDBG, or you try to increase it. Okay. You took away the homeware disposal. So residents, for those that don't understand how this game go, homeware disposal, that's your trash. That's to pick up your garbage. How are you to get your garbage collected if they took it out of the budget? How do we pay, guys? They're not telling you the fact. This is the hidden stuff, but we talking about transparency. Transparency, right? So then we goes to salaries for human resource. We got 50K. Yeah, well, we should tell them. Yeah, and see the lawyer, the attorney that educating them, just said that this is that we created in the past, of course, for $500,000, and we have to pay it. How you gonna just take it out of the bund? Like, what the heck? Where you get the money from? I'm just saying. But this is stuff they do, the nonsense they do, right? So after that, let's keep going. Since they took time to do this. A grant writer, they took out $55K for a grant writer. Salaries for customer service, they took out $62,000. For the youth program, oh my God, y'all don't want to help the youth. They took out $25,000. Oh, that's why y'all don't do nothing no way. Okay, then you got printing. You took out $10,000 for printing. How you get stuff printed? You got to print the water bills and all these other things. But okay. General liability, you took out $270,000. Special events. Oh, you don't want us to do activities for the community. $115,000. You also took out, what is this? Settlement for what? I don't know what that is. So settlement of $115,000. You took out maintenance supplies for building. This is how we keep up our buildings, all our government buildings, water department, public works. What is that? Fire, police, all of them, right? The maintenance. They took out $155,000. So when a furnace go out, when a boiler go out, how y'all gonna fix this stuff? I'm just saying. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep the party going, right? Because he didn't want to tell you what all these numbers was. Want to read numbers, right? Transparency, though, right? Nope. I'm gonna be transparent with you. Then we got salaries. What we at? Nope. We got salaries, $1 million. Okay. Who y'all cutting down $1 million? Okay. Yep. And then you got, what is this? Maintenance supplies for $300,000. Then you got salary overtime for $900,000. And y'all know
salaries for $1 million so she could get a pay raise, and $900,000 for overtime. Does that make any sense?
that's police department, right? So when you got crime, a shooting, a domestic, anything, who y'all gonna call? Ghostbusters? I'm just saying, who you gonna call? So then you got maintenance of vehicles, $5,000. So if the truck get broke, I don't know how we're gonna fix it. Then you got other miscellaneous expense, don't know what that is. You put $15,000. Then you got ESDA. Y'all don't want emergency services? Okay. So if it's a car accident, you want it to be manned by a police officer, not an ESDA worker. Make it make sense. This is stuff I'm talking about. So they took that out of $130,000. Then you did clerks. So you're gonna decrease the clerks by $27,000. I hope that's clerk key. Then you got maintenance of building, $40,000. You got more salaries, $25,000. These are all reductions. They cutting up the budget by all this money. Then you got regular salaries of $300,000. Then you got maintenance of sidewalks. That's the number one thing everybody keep calling about. Sidewalks, streets, and alleys. You're gonna deduct it by $200,000.
Well, you'll see after she run the mug saying they doing a deduction. No, he's just reverting back to the original budget. You know, he didn't deduct the salaries to people. He just going back to 2022 and 2023 fiscal year budget, because that's what they cut for. And that's what he should do, instead of increasing it by an astronomical amount because you think you want to increase the taxes to pay for all this other unnecessary stuff. Then she goes through this whole spiel, okay? And she wants people to listen to this because she's trying to fool the residents saying, oh, no, he's cutting all these services out. And no, he's not. You had services prior. We're just going back to the original budget.
I don't know how y'all gonna run an operation with all these cuts. Please make it make sense, guys. But again, you see how he just did, y'all. Let's tell y'all the items that he cut. You see the amount of money that he cut. How do you run a village without any of those services? These all of them that sit up here. They didn't ask them one question about their department. They didn't ask what they needed. They didn't ask what they can cut or trim at. Nothing. This is how they run government, blind. They running it blind. With 3 blind mics, 4 blind mics, they running it blind. It's a shame that they got no vision for our town. It's a shame that they gonna cut all these things for you residents. What you supposed to do when y'all call us? Well, how do we handle this? When we say, oh, we sure we can't get nobody to your house at this time, but I got an issue. I got a robbery in progress. Oh, we can't get you an officer. That's stupid. Y'all need to fix that. You should amend this trustee house. I don't think you should dare do this. I think you should amend this. I think that the residents deserve better. I don't think that it should be left up to you guys just to pick numbers and make cuts for whatever your reasons are. I just think that you guys didn't do a good job of talking to the staff about the things you want to cut. And then the lawyer just stated to me, because these are the people that do all of the litigations, that we have current litigations pending. So we do in negotiation. So how do we go to the table when y'all are cutting everything? But this is how they put our village in the financial condition that we're about to go in due to your board of trustees. So thank them when you see them in passing. Thank them for all the mess, because at the end of the day, all it takes is a conversation. So you will know what to do, how to do it.
You don't know how to budget. That's their whole thing. You're saying, oh, they're doing these cuts, but no, just follow the budget, lady. Okay, you're just spending and you don't want to follow the budget. You're in the mess that you're in because you don't want to follow the budget. They're trying to spend responsibly. No one's going to the car dealership and getting a car, a Tahoe, that's probably worth $70,000 and getting they said the ticket price was $90,000 or $99,000. They had an interest rate, accumulated interest rate of $50,000. That's being irresponsible. So what are we saying here? And you're talking about, she's going to mention it. She's saying they're going to bankrupt the city. Bankrupt the city because we're balancing the budget? No, you're trying to bankrupt the city. If they probably already defaulting on some of their stuff. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they ever approved that bond because they wanted to approve a bond. I don't think they ever approved it.
What people got going on in their departments, first is communication. You got to talk to people. Can't just make up stuff because you think this is what it is. You don't run day to day. You wouldn't know what it is. Or talk to the VA. He run day to day. But no one does that. And now we want to vote on a budget that y'all know isn't right, that y'all know this ain't what we need. Y'all know that, right, trustees? I'm throwing this out here, hoping y'all change y'all mind. Y'all know we need better, right? Y'all know we're cutting down more trees. We're basically cleaning up the west side, and now we're starting on the south side. We're putting up more street lights. And by cutting the trees back, we can see the actual light on the block. Y'all do know we're doing streets. Y'all know we're doing alleys. Y'all know we're doing sidewalks when once upon a time they used to pay 50-50. Now the residents don't pay nothing. And that's through the CBGD grant that y'all took out of the budget. Why would y'all do that? That's money. What's wrong? I'm so lost at how you decided to come up with this list. How did y'all decide to come up with the list? Trustee, how you decide to come up with this list?
Okay, so in looking at the budget, we looked at the years historical. And historical years, the items you're saying are cut out are not cut out. They're reductions, to be realistic. The budget that we were given had numbers that could not be substantiated, or I don't believe they could be substantiated. We talked about, in the last meeting, we asked about the $6.8 million, the alleged $6.8 million that's coming. Senate appropriation asked, when will it come? Could not get an answer. Asked that repeatedly. And if there is a $6.8 million, when you complete a budget, you also have to fill out the expenses, which means it's going to be a net zero in terms of the budget anyway. So all these, and we talked about, overtime police. Before this administration that did not have security details following them around everywhere, overtime was at $600,000 maximum every year. This administration is at $1.6 million. How are we going to get service? We need the mayor to stop spending money irresponsibly. That's where the reductions came, is off of all of the all the expenses that were not necessary until this one came in. And she even said in here, oh man, forget that, I'm going to double it. That's the reason that we have vendors calling, because we can sit here and put it down there, but the minute that you go out there, tell a vendor you're going to do it, and then there's not enough money in the bank, which is what we're running into today, because we're receiving lies about money that's coming in. It went from 6.8 million into 15 million. Never see it in the bank. Don't never see it in the bank. And the minute it starts hitting the bank, we can add it in the budget. But other than that, we're just kind of there. I'm just going to conclude on that point.
Yeah. So y'all need to stop with the mayor just spending, the mayor this, the mayor that. If we budget for items, we spend for those items that's budgeted for. I can prove everything that you all accuse me of up here. That's y'all problem. It's hearsay, but you don't see me ever talking about y'all because y'all nowhere. I'm everywhere. Now, as it relates to a budget, you have to put the 6.8 million in the budget. If the money comes through, how you gonna get the money? You ain't even got it in the budget. And y'all know it's true. Every outlet, meaning media, wrote about it because everybody was mad. Like I said, when I leave, go anywhere, I bring back a bag. I got awarded $15 million. Then you have to wait until it come down the pipeline like anything else. Anybody understand grant money? And when you go and ask for the grant money, you have to be specific in what you want to use it for. So here it is, my boy, once again, just like I did the $600,000, right? That we went, got secured, came back to this body, and you guys didn't even vote for it. It's grant money. It ain't coming out the general fund. That's the problem with y'all. Y'all want to lead and don't know how to lead. Won't you follow my lead and you will understand how to do things, like how y'all follow my lead by making videos. Like I said, that's flattering. But all I'm saying to you is that y'all have to do better. You can't come up with this stuff and just say things that's untrue. Then y'all talk about spending. You have to spend in order to improve your town. These are things that everybody been complain about for years, and never got it. And then if you really want to sit and have an adult conversation, some stuff that I can really educate you guys on, you will understand where we get the money from. Because y'all keep saying that we this and we that. Where we get, what accounts it come from. We have all kinds of accounts that the funds come out of, but you guys don't want to just sit and educate yourself.
You spending money you don't have. Basically, you talking all this jibber jabber. You're not saying nothing. You're talking in circles. You're spending money you don't have. Even if that $6.8 million never comes to, even if they put it on the budget, if you don't have it, how are you going to spend it? Does that make any sense? If you don't have $6.8 million, how would you spend that money? So you're increasing, you're basing that $6.8 million based off the increase on salaries? Or we're increasing salaries based off of the $6.8 million, or increasing the services based off of the $6.8 million that we have not received yet. Okay. That doesn't make any sense.
Of how we getting trees cut, how we getting the sidewalks done, how we getting the alleys paid. No one wants to learn. And that's the problem up here. You guys are too prideful to come and just really learn from your super mayor. It's sad. But go ahead, attorney. She want to say some things. Hopefully y'all listen to her.
I just want to say a couple things as it relates to budgeting and appropriating, just as general principles. Essentially, if you don't appropriate for something and that money comes in, you then cannot spend that money. So if the $6.8 million in grants does come in, like the mayor stated it will, regardless, you're not going to be able to spend that money if you don't appropriate for it. So that is a very serious concern. And I can understand that you guys may or may not believe whether it's going to come in, but my recommendation would be to put that in there, at least have it in the appropriations ordinance. If it does come in, then you can use it. If it doesn't come in, then it doesn't affect the budget and appropriations ordinance at all, truthfully. And then the other thing I wanted to point out is that, as the mayor previously stated, we are in the middle of negotiating various contracts. And it really does tie our hands at the negotiations table when we're not able to make the same offers to other bargaining units that we've settled with. And it just makes it very difficult for us to negotiate a fair contract. So I just want to point those items out to the board.
May I make a statement?
Go ahead.
So that was wonderful what you just said. But in October,
appreciate it. Yes.
October, Keith read out 3 other grants that he stated that we got. Those are not in the budget. So if we already been approved for those, or applying for them, or appropriating for them, then why are those items not allocated in the budget, like the $6.8 million? Then there was a statement that was made at a last board meeting that said that even with the negotiations for public works, that they wasn't paying it until May 1st of 2024, which is the next fiscal year. So if you have this money allocated in the 2024-2025 budget, but you don't plan on paying them till 2025-2026 budget, then why is it allocated in there? So if you're gonna say that the 6.8 of the appropriation, then that means that everything that he read in October should be in there too, since we're talking about transparency and all these grants. So that should be in there also. And those are not being reflected in there.
Are you done?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Keith.
Was that a question that you were asking whether or not it was reflected, or is that a statement that you were making?
That's a question.
Because I believe that it's reflected in the $6.8 million. It's not individually broke out, but you didn't ask us to individually break it out, nor did you ask a question about that. So I think the first thing is before you make an assumption on a budget, you should probably ask the question.
Shut up, Keith. She didn't even say that. She didn't say that. She was wondering about, hey, you didn't put those other grants that you said you had in the budget back in October. So why do we have to appropriate the $6.8 million? You never received the other money, grant money, supposedly, that you received. Keith always liked to talk in circles. He's a classic bullshitter that he don't know what he's talking about.
I'm not assuming anything.
I'm just going based off of what you did.
And why isn't the finance person talking? Why isn't the finance person talking? You're the finance director. Why ain't she speaking up and saying something?
Just it. So the second thing is that I would like to know what accounting firm helped you guys put together this budget. How do you guys plan on making up for the $500,000 that we're going to lose for Homewood disposal? You're not passing the bond later on. And is there any, did you guys think of anything? I mean, did you guys have any help with this? Is there anyone that helped you with this? Or are you guys just going off you guys basic accounting skills?
Is that a
What you learned
question?
in college? That's a question. Are you going off what you learned in college? Is this something that you learned in day camp? Oh, yeah.
Dang.
I know that's tough.
That's real tough.
There's no way in the world you could cut this much money out of the budget.
Yes, it is. Stop spending.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we didn't spend a dime until next year, you still wouldn't be able to cover the resources that you cut out of this budget.
Yes, we would.
How? How do you know? What financial expert told you that? Please tell me. Oh, what, his name was Kasperic? Because I can get him on the phone right now. This is ridiculous.
All his card.
Well, hey, he's the accountant, right? I'd really like to know. Can somebody tell me?
Call him.
Oh, it's quiet now. And where's Tiffany Henyard? It's quiet now. I can wait. I have nothing.
Get the attorney on. I mean, get the accounting firm on the phone.
You want to amend it? Okay, go ahead.
To kind of address Attorney Nelson Jaworski's comment, I would like to make one amendment for the appropriation, and I will say.
So just to be clear, you're doing a superseding motion to your own motion?
Okay, superseding motion, all items read, but I would, I have great concern because about the $6.8 million. It was appropriated, but I have great concerns about it coming. And I did ask several times about time frame via email, but I have not received it, which added to my concerns. Hearing that it needs an appropriation, just to make sure that we're covered, I would remove the reduction of that from the revenue column, the 6.8, and leave the 6.8 million in the budget. I would also add on the expense side $6.8 million worth of grant expenses to because when you submit the grant, you have to submit the expenses, so that should also be reflected in the budget. So I would like to leave the 6.8 million in there, add a $6.8 million line item to account for the adjustment just made. So that was my superseding motion. Is everything as read with the two amendments, and I will send that via email. Thank you.
So since you amended stuff, you want to talk to the police and fire department since we are here, and you could ask them questions of why they need what they need in their department.
Here's my question: how much was spent on the security detail? Because that adjustment came strictly because of the security detail, which we think
The firemen don't protect me, so no, it did not. You did the firemen.
I want to ask questions. That's my question.
But it did not. Okay, trustee, why are you so concerned about my security detail that you guys got me happen to have because all y'all mess that y'all created? Let's be crystal clear about that. So stop with the drama. Like, I'm over it. Y'all have no idea the things y'all created with just lies. I'm a single black woman, so you better miss me with that. Stop with my security detail stuff. It's in the CBA. Read your stuff. I'm sick and tired of coming here out to prove myself to people like you that don't even know what to do with it. If you want to run against me, you run in 2025, but you don't put my safety in jeopardy. Let's be clear. I'm not going to keep playing with y'all. So talk about something else.
You see how mad she got? She's mad because she's saying they put her safety. Does anybody want to go against Tiffany Henyard? She has her goons everywhere. So what, if anything, their safety is in jeopardy. You got control of the police department. Tiffany Henyard has complete control of the police department. She fired that last guy, I guess, because the last guy wasn't agreeing with her. So she got rid of him and got a more submissive chief. And he's suing them too. That last police chief, he's suing them. So what is she talking about? Her safety?
Sick of this.
She's mad. Talking about, I'm sick of this. Classic narcissistic behavior. You get so mad on things that you cause. The chaos that you cause. The problems that you have, you caused it.
Yes. You sitting here bankrupting the town. That's what y'all doing, bankrupting the town. Because y'all cut off.
Bankrupting the town because we decrease spending? No, we bankrupt the town because, no, we're trying to stop the town from going bankrupt. This is what it really irritates me about Tiffany Henyard. You say all these things you think the people, your residents, are stupid. Oh, she said they're going to bankrupt the town because they decreasing the spending. How's that bankrupting the town? You guys put in chat, how does that bankrupt your town or bankrupt anybody if you decrease your spending? If anything, that stops you from going into bankrupt. Bankrupt means you don't have any more money coming in, or your bills exceed what you have coming in. And that's what they're facing now. They bills exceed far more greater than what they have coming in. And that's why he wants to keep everything intact. And that's why Jason House decreased all those increased line items. What's wrong with that? And you spend $1 million on security detail.
All this stuff with no focus, no direction, no vision, no answers, no questions. Y'all just came and did it because y'all felt like it. That ain't how y'all run government. That's why y'all don't need to be in y'all seats. Because y'all didn't get the right advice. He asked you clear as day. Who told y'all this?
We
Where
asked
you
him
get it
stuff and
from?
he ain't gave
Hold
us
on,
no
trustee.
answer.
You out of line. And y'all had no answer. But yeah, y'all keep coming up here putting on this show. But you putting the people in harm's way. Stop it. Whatever our fights are is our fights. Whatever we gonna do, we gonna do. But stop neglecting the people. Stop. I didn't run to neglect people. I ran to help them. Trustee House. How you run on my ticket, follow my vision, then get here at a board meeting and then want to take a person out. That's sickening. You played it. Shame on you. You wanted to see you should have ran against me, but you didn't. But now you got to create chaos to think you're going to win something that you ain't going to win. Stop. But what I will not do, and I'm not up here, is put my safety in jeopardy. I'm not. So stop trying to pick something to sit here and catapult you to something that you would never.
All these grown people should be sick of this shit. These are grown people that follow her lead. They should be sick of that. If you have your own brain, if you was listening to this, and you probably would have been like, especially if you just got hired in, you probably like, oh my God, what the hell did I sign up for? Because she's acting like this. Just being like the way her demeanor is, it's really disgusting. That ghetto gangster bullshit, like where I guess you got to get used to it, because she gonna be in cell block C in a minute. Tiffany gonna be in cell block C with her orange and black uniform on.
Never be. Stop. I'm sick of it. And for those women that's right here with you sitting back watching the nutball stuff, y'all should be ashamed of yourself, because I am you. But y'all sit back and do this little show like we ain't people. I'm a human being before anything. Stop. Call her out.
Mayor.
Go ahead. Is anybody second?
Second.
All right. Go ahead, trustee.
One thing about, pulling or deducting this maintenance, you're putting the village in harm's way. We can't afford, if these vehicles go down and the funds are not there, we can't afford to wait on another municipality to get their police here once the residents call. Fire department, the same thing. We can't afford, if that truck goes down, to wait on somebody else. You're going to put this village in a life and death situation, and the criminals are going to have a field day if our vehicles are not being operated or maintenance. We can't afford to cut anything in there. And once they find out that we don't have vehicles and they're waiting on Harvey or someone else to get here, guess what? It's going to be a field day here. And if our maintenance is not up to par in this fire department, we're going to have some lives lost. It's going to be a critical incident, and they're going to have a field day. You need to think about safety first. I'm done.
All right, call her out.
Do your thing. This was his amendments, correct?
What happened? Man, every time.
Let me ask what I want.
Clerk, key, call her out.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
No.
Aye. Okay, welcome to Board of Trustees just bankrupt the Village of Dalton. Next, is there a motion to accept and approve the 2023 property?
Why would she say that? Oh, we bankrupt the Village of Dalton. That has nothing to do with what they just did. That has nothing to do with what they just did. And somebody put in chat, what's this guy name right here? The older guy that just spoke. His name slips my mind. He's talking about if the vehicles break down. Belcher is going to talk about the vehicles. I guess they got like $40,000 worth of car payments, monthly car payments. $40,000 worth of monthly car payments. That's what they paying on new cars.
Tax levy collected in 2024 in accordance with the Truth in Taxation Law of Illinois. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been a motion and second. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
The attorney read in your veto that it was 20 days and you said an estimate. Could you reiterate what you said? Because I was confused, but it was the veto, because the same thing that you're putting here now is the same thing that she vetoed, but you're putting it before us again. So
Okay, so if I could clarify,
Yeah.
and just to make sure it's, my computer's of course not coming up right now, but let me just do it from memory. Essentially section 10.6, of the property tax code requires that there be a 20-day time frame between the passage of a estimate of a levy and then a passage of the actual levy. At the December 5th meeting that you guys had held, so let me back up even further. December 4th, the item on the agenda was to approve the estimate of the levy. Then on December 5th, the item on the agenda again on the special board meeting agenda was to also approve the estimate of the levy. So it was not voted on at the meeting on the 4th because, as I understand it, that meeting ended when the trustees left, and it was voted on and approved. The estimate of levy was approved on the meeting on the 5th. What I honestly am not clear on is whether the actual levy was approved at the meeting on the 5th, or if you guys just approved the estimate, because the agenda item only says estimate. However, there's been multiple conversations, as I understand it, where certain trustees have told various administration officials that the levy was approved on December 5th, or was approved on December 5th, 2023. So in the event that the levy actually was approved, the mayor was vetoing that approval and vetoing the estimate because the estimate
20 days.
Because of the understanding was that that the estimate and the levy were approved at the same time. Now, if the levy now, I guess the question is, was the levy approved at the December 5th meeting? Yes. So there are two motions to approve the estimate and the actual levy. So that is improper under section 10-8 of the code.
10-8 or 1860?
Or 10-60. I don't have it in front of me because my computer is not coming up right now. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it back up.
Okay. Does that answer your question so we can move on while she gets you the numbers?
Yes.
All right. All right.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
The levy that we're looking at represents an increase to the operating levy of about $500,000. Am I saying that correctly?
Who was the question for?
But, anybody that can answer.
Okay.
Finance director.
She can answer it. Finance director and Keith Freeman, you can answer his question. So can you repeat it? Let's hear it.
Does this vote represent as approximating $500,000 increase to the operating levy in section 1?
From
last year's vote, sir. Hold on. And to be a little bit more, I'm looking at, I'll share with you. Last year, the levy had $11,134,799. This year, the requested levy, $11,682,000.
That is correct. I have it. That's correct.
Okay, so then essentially we're asking that we raise taxes. Is that correct?
Are you asking me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. With that, I have a superseding motion that I would like to add to requests. My request is that we approve the ordinance at the level that was issued last year, the $11,134,799. That's my motion.
Have you considered cost of living? Have you considered inflation? Have you considered collective bargaining? Have you considered all of the things that people normally?
He's saying, have you consider inflation and cost of living? What that got to do with raising my taxes? What does that have to do with raising taxes? Cost of living? Nothing. Nothing. You want to raise my property taxes. They want to raise property taxes. That's what they want to do.
Normally do when they pass tax levies.
Yes, sir. And I'll tell you where my confusion comes at. Okay. Unclear information being given to the board. My belief that there's overspending on things that are costing taxpayers money. So I think we need to work within what we have before asking the residents to pay more money out of their pocket for items that they didn't ask for. So yes, I considered that. And I believe at this time, it's not the proper time to request a tax increase. And additionally, not getting the information needed leaves me saying we need to, until we can learn to operate with what we've had and what we do, I do not want to ask another taxpayer for more money when we can't even get information distributed to the board. Again, forgive me, put on the website. We can't get information. The residents are really flying blind, as is the board. And we made no request to the residents. We didn't even put out there that a tax increase was being requested. That was not even put out there to have a discussion of, hey, taxpayers, we need to increase it, and here are the reasons. No discussion whatsoever with the community about, but we come in and ask for a tax increase. I think that's unfair, improper, and I think that we could stay within the bounds of what we have. So that's the reason for my
all right. Just like you just didn't ask no questions about the budget, no clarification, no nothing. Right? See what I'm saying? How y'all do? It's good for you to say that. Oh, okay. Well, y'all should ask the people. Y'all should this. Y'all should that. Well, you know, just like I know, everybody raises their taxes by 4.99%. So y'all like to do this fictitious world of making videos, lying, saying the mayor want to raise your taxes. It's the mayor. Well, y'all know the mayor don't even vote, trustee house. You know better, but you need to stop. Hold on. Let me finish my statement. You know better. You know everybody go up by 4.99%. But yeah, y'all made a video pointing the finger at me, right? Trustee Belcher, right? Stop it. You guys have been raising taxes since day one here. But yet y'all sit here and act like y'all don't, but y'all have. So you saying you don't raise taxes, trustee house? You haven't raised taxes, no?
In my 7 years on the board, we have voted to raise taxes one time.
Oh, that's it, one time?
And it has not been in this administration. There are times we had offsetting, we increased the operating levy, decreased the debt service. Net effect was zero tax increase to the
okay.
board.
But you raised taxes one time. Okay. All right. Trustee Belcher, you too?
Yeah.
You too?
Oh, you want my response?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. So this is where I'm confused at, because we just had a vote that you sat there and went through all this stuff. So, oh, they cutting this, they cutting this, they cutting that. Then the next one, you want us to raise the taxes. I'm so confused right now, because if we didn't make those cuts, then this tax would have to take place to fund your luxurious lifestyle.
Okay, pause.
But you asked me to comment.
Go ahead.
I will not support a tax increase right now. That's why the budget, who y'all say whoever helped us, who didn't help us, or whatever, those items was cut for service. And it's funny how someone sits here and be like, oh, this maintenance that we should think about that. We got $42,000 worth of lease payments of new cars. They better not need no maintenance right now. So it behooves me that you try to keep doing this back and forth, then keep with the inflation. Everybody knows it's inflation, but everybody knows that when inflation comes, there's a way of budgeting, cutting back on things, not sitting here and say, I'm gonna still do what I want to do. I'm gonna double it next month. Oh, taxpayers, give me y'all money. I'm not supporting it. Are you finished with me?
Are you done? I just want to make sure you're done so I don't interrupt you so you can hear me when I speak to you. Are you done?
This is why she canceled the meeting. This is why she canceled the meeting yesterday, because she's about to show you a video of how many times they increase the taxes over a 10-year span. She's claiming that they always increase the taxes, but the video shows she really shouldn't even show this video because it actually contradicts what she's actually saying. We got a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Here, cuts are necessary when you don't stick to a budget. Exactly. Cuts are very necessary when you don't stick to the budget. And Tiffany Henyard is claiming that they're going to bankrupt the town because they took necessary cuts that will cause bankruptcy. I'm really confused about that. But this is why she canceled the meeting, because she probably didn't have her videos together.
Trustee. Okay. So as I always state, you guys put on the show. Y'all talk about what y'all ain't done, how y'all been at board meetings, and we never raise your taxes. It's the mayor. It's the mayor. It's not the mayor. It's the board of trustees. The board of trustees are the ones that vote on the tax levy. How dare you get up here and say that I want to raise taxes? Because that's not true. I don't even have a vote when it comes to raising your property taxes. Every single year, you guys raise the property taxes here in the village of Dalton. Trustee house, Mr. Only voted one time. That's a lie. These are the lies that they tell. Like I keep telling y'all every single time, they lie about everything. And matter of fact, let me prove it. Let me show you. Play the tape. Please play the tape. Play the tape. In the back, play the tape. Just so you can see how these people right here lie. Y'all raised by 4.99%. And speaking of that, let me give you some more information before you play my tape, so you can see how people be lying. And I advise you to revisit your video you made, Trustee Belcher, because you want popularity. It's not going to work. Stop lying. I never raised anything. Keep my name out your mouth, because Mayor Henyard have not raised anything. But let me give you some things. 4.99%. Phoenix raised there. This for the year of 2023 to 2024 for those that don't understand how tax levies go. They can do it without going out to the public by 4.99%. Phoenix just did it. So Holland just did it. Lansing did it for 2.99%. Dixmoor did it for 4.99%. Calumet City did it for 4.99%. Thornton did it for 4.99%. Harvey did it for 5%. That's this year today. So this is what I'm telling you why people don't pay attention. Everybody raises it 4.99% no matter what. Don't let them sit here because they need.
She's lying. Now, that's why I say I don't know why she does this. She talks loud and very abrasive and in your face. So I guess we're supposed to believe it because she's so passionate about it. It's very insulting when you talk to people and they own property. When they own property, and when stuff remains stagnant, they generally don't raise taxes, and sometimes they even decrease taxes. It all depends on where you're at. So what is she saying? She's actually telling people that we raise taxes all the time, and that's a lie. But her video is going to contradict everything that she's saying. I don't even know who put this video together. They shouldn't even show this video.
It's something to campaign on. Oh, guys, it wasn't us. We didn't do it. All right, watch this. Play the tape.
You understand what it used to be, what it turned out to be, and where we are today. So today, I'm gonna take you down memory lane and explain to you all the nonsense that you see a couple people trying to keep up chaos in our village. First, I'm gonna start with what tax levy is. Every year, we must levy taxes for our village. When we levy taxes, we get money to run our day-to-day operations. That's our police, our fire, our public works. All of those departments are levied by our taxes. So if we do not levy taxes, we will not receive the money to do the day-to-day operation, which is public service. So they made a video and sent it to a lot of residents stating that is trying to increase your property taxes. In no way, shape, or form have I ever advocated to increase property taxes. As you know, as a trustee myself, I've always tried to decrease taxes, or if it's warranted, yes, you have to levy for taxes. But
you're double stating what you're saying. You're contradicting yourself. If you want to levy and you're so passionate about it, you got to levy your taxes. You're leveling taxes by 4.9%. That means you're increasing people's taxes. What are you talking about? Then you say, oh, I never said I wanted to increase taxes. Well, what do you think we're doing? So what are you saying? Like this, all this talking in circles, like it doesn't even make any sense. Like she thinks people are so stupid.
in this case, if you don't know, now you will know today, every community passes a tax levy of 4.99%, no matter what the public says, because that's the levy they can pass. If it's under 5%, you can pass it without going out to the public. When it goes above 5%, you must go to the public and let you guys know that. So if you go and you can FOIA anything I'm saying up here, you can FOIA any other towns, Harlan, Kansas City, Riverdale, Lansing, any town, you'll see that they do the same thing. So that's what I'm showing you today. I'm gonna give you the facts. So I'm gonna take you down memory lane by going to 2017. Can you play tape?
Remember, Trustee House said he never raised y'all taxes. Let's pay attention to this. Liars. This is what the trustees don't want you to know about property taxes.
We was at $6 million, right, for levying taxes. If you look and read on that page right here, they increase your property tax by 14%. This is what you don't know, residents, 14%. So if you read and go a little further, and you'll see who voted to basically increase your property taxes. On here, you'll see Trustee Haps voted to increase your property tax, and you'll see ex-Trustee Stubbs voted to increase your property tax. But I wanted to give you the ordinance so you can understand who voted to increase your taxes. So when you're getting information, you will have facts to go by. Then we'll go to 2018. 2018.
So who been raising our taxes?
And in here, if you look, same thing, taxes, trustees raise your taxes by 14% again.
Another 14%.
And that was again Trustee House and Trustee Stubbs. Of course, the rest of them voted as well.
Your name again. You only raised taxes once.
All of them voted on the 2 out because these are that's on your board now that's trying to do the spin cycle to tell you the opposite. So for years, they've been raising your taxes 2018. Now let's move on. 2019. 2019, trying to do the same thing. But this time, this is when everybody voted for it. So this is $10 million, 2019. Trustee Brown, not Brown, Stan Brown, Trustee Tammy Brown voted for this. Trustee Holmes, Trustee House, Trustee Steves, everybody voted for this, but it stayed the same. On May 2020, same difference. It stayed the exact same, 0%. It was for $10 million.
No increase. Yep. See, look at that number, 10 million, 3, 3, 4.
Then you go and you're going to read who voted for it in a lineup. Trustee.
So you're contradicting yourself. You're saying every year we raised the taxes and we didn't, or they didn't. Every year they didn't raise the taxes. So why are you contradicting yourself? Now you've been against taxes. You could say, oh no, I didn't agree to raise the taxes. Those high increases. You could say that could be your campaign. Yeah, I voted against to raise the taxes. And you were the only one. So you could really say that. But you can't just say every year we raise the taxes by 4.99%, because it didn't increase.
Tammy Brown, Trustee House, and then Trustee Ed Steves. So now I'm going to May of 2021. Tax levy for $10 million.
Yep.
On here it says again 0%.
0% on the surface,
but
right?
When you read it, people that voted for it, everybody voted for it.
Yep.
And that's what I wrote up there to raise your taxes, which was Trustee Steves, Trustee Norwood, Trustee Belcher, Trustee Tammy Brown, Trustee House. Everybody voted to raise your taxes 2021.
Yep. You see how you
keep
Go ahead. Show them that video. Show them how to keep raising the taxes every year.
That's why I try to tell
you don't come for me unless I pay for you. Go ahead.
Fact check, and then when you have to prove yourself. 2022, levy taxes $47 million. You see again on the surface, 0%. Again, I keep telling you, taxes go up 4.99% every year. People that voted for it. Trustee House, Trustee Norwood, Trustee Ed Steves. But guess what? Trustee Tammy Brown said no on this one time because it was election time. This is when y'all was voting for the make her a trustee. Belcher voted president. Why she vote president? President go with the majority. Either yes or you know. Why you vote president? Should have just said yeah or nay like you do any other time. I want to point that out. This all the taxes up to date, 2022.
Yep.
Now the new tax levy that's being presented is the same concept. You got that? Okay, great. Same concept for $11 million. So it's like 0% on the surface once again. And this one is the one that I'm saying we don't have a vote for yet, but people have to come to the board meeting. And then if you have a difference of opinion, it's what discussion is for, and you come and you have a happy meeting. Because at the end of the day, we must provide services for our residents.
I will show you. An example. Your taxes going up every single year. This board, they keep claiming we didn't do it, it's the mayor. And it's a lie. The trustees vote to raise taxes. As you can see. Follow the money. Just because it says 0 on the surface don't make it true. You have to follow the money. The money just showed you.
And you know what? Like I said, she contradicted herself in this video. But she can't say, oh, I voted against to raise the taxes. She can't say that. Or hike increase like the 14%. She voted against that. But that's probably when she owned those rental properties. But you can't make that blanket statement saying, oh, we increase the taxes every year, even though it said 0%. We always increase it by 4.99% because you just disproved that. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why she wanted to make sure she had this video ready for everybody to see. Everybody to see this video. That's why they canceled yesterday's meeting, because this video wasn't ready. And they're gonna adjourn the meeting.
Every year went up, even though it says 0, right? But it still increased by 4.99%. And in other years, they did it by 14%. Right? But so who lied? And we just talked to them, they all just lied about it. But you go make videos lying to people about it's the mayor. No, it's the trustees. Own up to the seats you sit in. You vote on things such as a tax levy, as you see.
Follow the money.
That's all you have to do is follow the money. It's like,
is they have been raising your property taxes for years.
That part.
You must follow the money. As you can see, is proof of the Board of Trustees raising your property taxes.
I keep up. So that's the point that I want to point out to y'all, that people gonna lie. They're gonna make up stuff on you. When they can't control you, when they can't beat you, they gotta try to delude the residents to make them think you're doing something other than helping them. And that's what I just proved to y'all today. Every single time they put bad stuff on my name, I come back with facts, paperwork, and show y'all the truth. You see people liars, they lie to y'all right here on the spot. Like, no, we do that. And then I also told you, you got to look at things just like how you go to it for a contract. You know how they say, hey, make sure you read the fine print. Make sure you read the fine print, because we read everything on the surface. It says 0, but we didn't go down to that dollar amount. That dollar amount increased by 300,000, 400,000. You followed the money. It's gonna tell you the whole truth. As they say, women lie, men lie, numbers don't. It's in black and white. That part, so people can stop.
She uses good advice, but she doesn't follow none of her advice. Yeah, this sounds sound, but like, you don't follow this. All this advice that you're giving out, you don't follow none of this stuff.
With all the spin cycles and all the mess, miss me with that for this shit, please. When you talk, at least state facts. Everything I talk about, I have proof to back it up. Every single thing. So therefore, Tiffany, what you say, attorney? What we doing? I'm gonna move forward.
I have 2 comments, man.
Yeah, you got your rebuttal. Fix your lie. It ain't gonna work.
I really just want to know your official stance on this.
You ain't got to know my official nothing. You a trustee.
Are you advocating for increase, or are you not?
I just answered all your questions. You a trustee. You must do your job. Do what your conscience tell you. Don't be trying to get me to say something other than what you need to know. No, and I'm asking you, trustee, make a decision. You want to be the boss? It come with cost. Be the boss. Go ahead, boss up and make a decision on what you want to do. You either for it or you not. Stop. Make a decision, right? Y'all make decisions when y'all have to disturb me, right? Y'all make decisions when y'all cut all this budget. Y'all made all them decisions, right? So make a decision. Stop trying to sit here and throw it back my way. Own up to it. So I keep telling people, everybody want to be the boss, but scared to own up to what it is, because the public see you for who you are, which is a liar. Y'all lie to the public. Stop it and point at me, and it's you the entire time. Okay, Tiff, what we doing?
So under the, in consideration of the mayor's veto, and since the veto was both to veto the estimate and the levy, because obviously when the veto was delivered, there was a bit of uncertainty as to what was approved at the December 5th meeting. So it'd be my recommendation to the board to amend this motion to make it an approval of an estimate of a levy. And then you approve the estimate at this meeting, and then at the next board meeting, you guys approve the levy.
Okay, so my motion is to approve the estimate at the same rate on the operating levy as last year.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Please call the roll.
Aye.
Are you ready for that one, huh?
Aye. Trustee Stan Brown?
No.
Trustee Tammy Brown? Aye. Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Holmes?
No.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
All right. Thank you guys for coming out. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Is there a second? Is there a motion second? Please call the roll.
This was off the chain. Off the chain. Why in the world? Why in the world? I'm speechless. I don't understand how they could actually work with this lady. This lady is crazy. Nova Combretti said Tiffany Henyard couldn't run a chicken wing spot, but y'all vote for her in as mayor. Glad I moved out of Dalton. That burger place, she ran amok on that one too. That Good Burger or whatever she had. She wasn't paying the bills. She had a contract with the college that's in that town, and she wasn't paying the bills, and she wasn't keeping the restaurant clean. She wasn't following the rules. All that stuff. Ron King said, since she didn't get the tax raises, she will raise the tickets again. Parking tickets for about $2,000. That's what she's going for. Parking tickets for $2,000. And she is so upset because they don't agree with her. Nobody has to agree with you, even what she said may be true about raising taxes. Nobody has to agree with you. You don't have to gaslight people and make people feel like they beneath you because they didn't agree with you on your tax raises. That doesn't make any sense. This is from what I found in Chicago Sun-Times. This is about her Thornton Township salary ordinances in South Suburbia latest shady deal. Remember, we talked about this. We talked about her putting the ordinance in to keep her salary of $224,000. And if she gets unseated, get voted out, the person, her incumbent, will only get like $14,000. So you trying to discourage anybody from running against you. Now on this story, they're talking about the it's a former alderman. The city of Chicago reputation as a hotbed of political malfeasance and corruptions were reinforced this month with the conviction of former alderman Ed Burke. But pound for pound, Chicago southern suburban might have the city beaten when it comes to government shenanigans. And then they talked about Tiffany Henyard's salary. Tiffany Henyard's salary. Henyard makes a salary of $224,000 a year as a township supervisor, but under the ordinance, if she runs for re-election in 2025 and loses, her successor salary will drop down to $25,000. And if she wins the re-election, her salary remains. That's the ordinance they just put in. And, the trustees voted it in because they put the same ordinance in for them. So they're trying to ensure their political power or solidify their political power. So Thornton Township is in a lot of shit too. All of them need to go down. And under the ordinance, anyone who beats a current elected Dolton Township officer holder will also face a lower salary. This maneuver is about politically rotten and self-serving as it gets a bid by elected officials to use tax dollars and the law to chase away political rivals. Both Henyard and Dolton Township boards should move to repeal the ordinance. They're not going to repeal it because everybody that's on that ordinance, it states that the township trustee, they get a deduction. if they get out the camera, if they get unseated. What?
Could I go in the game because I finished my week?
You wait till I get off the computer.
Okay.
So Henyard was elected to the township supervisor. And then they're talking about how she used to make $46,000 for the mayor position, but no, she makes about $64,000 now with being the mayor. And they're saying that the Dalton is a relatively poor town because of the 20,000 people that lives in Dalton, like the average household income is like $25,000. So I'm assuming that, Dalton is going to be in trouble. Now it's saying they face $5 million in deficit, but we know it's close to $7 million in deficit. So this is what Tiffany Henyard is doing. Tiffany Henyard, she has her claws in the township, Thornton Township, and the village of Dalton. And she gets mad at everyone that is combative, that doesn't agree with her. And you notice in this video, she said, hey, you guys are going to get removed. You're going to get out of here, because she's trying to force people out. I don't know how she's going to accomplish that, because it seems like the 4 Dalton trustees, they do have support. I think if Trustee House runs for mayorship, I think he will actually win. But Tiffany Henyard, she needs to go. And hopefully he won't have to run against her, because she might be in jail, some prison somewhere. But I actually feel sorry for the people of Dalton. Hopefully they wake up and not let her run again. And if she do run, don't vote for her, because she got 80% of the vote. When she ran, she got 80% of the vote. And then they tried to appeal her election, and the judge ruled in her favor. So that's all I'm going to talk about that. You guys put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. I got another super chat. Thank you, Joshua Luna. It says Joshua, John Luna, Chawanne, I love your breakdown of these meetings. We'll be subscribing here soon. You're the best. Thank you, John. That's like I said, you guys let me know what you think in this whole debacle. It's really sad that they can't agree on anything. They can't agree on anything. And then you have a leadership talking about, you got to follow me and all this stuff, and cussing people out and trying to make people feel like some type of way. Grown people. And hopefully, we won't see her long again. Kite Fly House is great. He used to work at the bank in Dalton. Okay. Kite. Pretty in Pink, Laka, Tiff, Scooter Freeman, Brown, Holmes, Lacey, her boyfriend, and the department heads that are doing wrong. Yeah. Lock them up. We got a Twitter comment or Twitch comment. We stream, sis. I look forward to seeing you how their next election go. Yeah, me too. Anyway, I'm going to get to my last story. I just had 2 stories. I know that one kind of lasted long, about 2 hours. I wanted to show you guys this, and I knew this was going to go this way. You know, we have this, or had, probably the first ever Black woman to run a prestigious college, and that's Harvard University. First ever Black woman to run this prestigious college. And she was called in front of these Senate hearings a while back. Her name is Claudine Gay. Let me just share this tab with you. This was about a month ago, I think it was. No, it wasn't Senate, congressional hearings. This was about a month ago, where she was called in front of these congressional hearings, and they were questioning her about DEI and supporting Hamas. And she really couldn't give a straight answer whether or not she will support anti-Semitic comments, okay? And the problem is with this is, okay, she basically voiced that she would not, she couldn't make a statement or decide whether or not anti-Semitic comments are wrong. She wouldn't say yes or no. She gave this long exclamation about anti-Semitic comments. Now, if you've watched me before, anti-Semitism or anti-Semitic, I think they use that word loosely. Because just because you don't agree with a Jewish person, that doesn't mean you're being anti-Semitic. But this particular instance, between, you know, the whole situation with Hamas and Israel, that conflict, and then you have Palestinian students that's over here, and then you have these really young students that's taken up on this cause of saying Palestinians are from this open air prison. Okay, so you have these white liberals, they're standing with the Palestinians in Hamas terrorist organization. And they're in these liberal colleges like Harvard and all these other colleges, they're going in protest, which is their right to protest. But when do you draw the line? You can't say, oh, death to Jews and spit in Jews' face. Some people were doing terrible things to, number one, we know, to Jewish people, and terrible things to Palestinians. Okay, it went both ways. It's not just Jewish people. Okay, so on campus though, do you or do you not support this type of action? And she could not decide. So this is the what she got. Now we're gonna just take a look at this. This is like. Let me see. Oh, they just put this up here. And it's really sickening because it's like, just say yes or no. Don't skirt around or beat around the bush. Is this type of behavior a
to free expression and give a wide berth to free expression
or university? Okay. So this,
Creative AI has a Christmas deal that'll get you 50% off any yearly package, and that will allow you to generate.
Is to commit genocide against the Jewish people in Israel and globally.
I'm just trying to rewind it to this part.
Is that okay for students to call for the mass murder of African Americans at Harvard? Is that protected free speech?
Our commitment to free speech.
It's a yes or no
extends.
question. Let me ask you this. You are president of Harvard, so I assume you're familiar with the term intifada, correct?
I've heard that term, yes.
And you understand that the use of the term intifada in the context of the Israeli-Arab conflict is indeed a call for violent armed resistance against the state of Israel, including violence against civilians and the genocide of Jews. Are you aware of that?
That type of hateful speech is personally abhorrent to me.
And there have been multiple marches at Harvard with students chanting, quote, "There is only one solution, intifada revolution," and, quote, "globalize the intifada." Is that correct?
I've heard that thoughtless, reckless, and hateful language on our campus, yes.
So based upon your testimony, you understand that this call for intifada is to commit genocide against the Jewish people in Israel and globally, correct?
I will say again, that type of hateful speech is personally abhorrent to me.
Do you believe that type of hateful speech is contrary to Harvard's code of conduct, or is it allowed at Harvard?
It is at odds with the values of Harvard.
Can you
But
not
our
say here that it is
values
against the
also-
code of conduct at Harvard?
We embrace a commitment to free expression, even of views that are objectionable, offensive.
No, because if some white person, we're going to just put it black and white. If some white person said, "Kill all the niggers," and they put a noose on the light pole, they will hunt that person down and they probably get suspended. Or what is it? Expelled from the university. You even had kids getting expelled because they paint their face blackface. So you can't make a decision whether or not this is a violation against your code of conduct. This is where she went off. This is why she resigned. Now, they saying that she resigned because of plagiarism. No, she resigned. They couldn't take the heat. I'm pretty sure they have a lot of Jewish donors at Harvard. And they probably was calling to the university saying she needs to resign. We can't fire her because she's a black woman, a lesbian black woman on top of that. We can't fire her. We don't want to look bad. So they forced her to resign.
Hateful. It's when that speech crosses into conduct that violates our policies against bullying, harassment,
Does that speech
and
not
intimidation.
cross that barrier? Does that speech not call for the genocide of Jews and the elimination of Israel?
When
You
that speech-
testify that you understand that is the definition of intifada. Is that speech according to the code of conduct or not?
We embrace a commitment to free expression and give a wide berth to free expression, even of views that are objectionable.
You and I
outrageous,
both know
and
that's not the
offensive.
case. You were aware that Harvard ranked dead last when it came to free speech. Are you not aware of that report?
As I observed earlier, I reject that characterization.
It's the
of our
data shows
campus.
it's true. And isn't it true that Harvard previously rescinded multiple offers of admissions for applicants and accepted freshmen for sharing offensive memes, racist
Yeah.
statements, sometimes as young as 16 years old? Did Harvard not rescind those offers of admission?
Yep. They
That
did.
long predates my time as president.
But you
so I can't
understand
speak.
that Harvard made that decision to rescind those offers of admission.
I have no reason to contradict the facts as you present them.
Correct, because it's a fact. You're also aware that a Winthrop House faculty dean was let go over who he chose to legally represent, correct? That was while you were dean.
That is an incorrect characterization of what transpired.
What's the characterization?
I'm not going to get into details about a personnel matter.
Well, let me ask you this. Will admissions offers be rescinded or any disciplinary action be taken against students or applicants who say,
Do you know what it takes to get into Princeton? On Princeton's admissions website,
The point of this video, you couldn't make a stance. Now, if we said this was black or white, a white person doing this to the black person, she would have said that. But she has this ambiguous answer for another minority against a white person, because Jewish, you could say they're white. And then if this was like some type of transgender issue, she wouldn't touch it. She was to say, "Oh no, we agree with the expression and the views of of other people, of the minorities." So it's okay. I've said this before. It's okay for you to be racist towards white people if you are part of the, I guess, minority community, because we want to stick up for the minorities. And now you got your Jewish donors pulling out, saying, "Hey, if you don't fire her, you will never see another dime, because they're so, what is it called, in la la land." These people, and I'm saying these people, what's her name? Gay is so much in la la land. She just can't admit that this is harmful speech and against their code of conduct, because you don't want to offend your other minority groups. You're trying to take up for the other minority groups, even if they're wrong. That doesn't make any sense to me.
As I've said, that type of hateful, reckless, offensive speech is personally abhorrent to me.
Today that no action will be taken. What action will be taken?
When speech crosses into conduct that violates our policies, including policies against bullying, harassment, or intimidation, we take action, and we have robust disciplinary processes that allow us to hold individuals accountable.
What action has been taken against students who are harassing and calling for the genocide of Jews on Harvard's campus?
I can assure you we have robust
What
disciplinary
actions have been
processes
taken? I'm not
and
asking.
actions underway.
I'm asking what actions have been taken against those students.
Given students' rights to privacy and our obligations under FERPA, I will not say more about any specific cases other than to reiterate that processes are ongoing.
Do you know what the number one hate crime in America is?
I know that over the last couple of months, there's been an alarming rise of anti-Semitism, which I understand is the critical topic that we are here to discuss.
That's correct. It is anti-Jewish hate crimes. And Harvard ranks the lowest when it comes to protecting Jewish students. This is why I've called for your resignation. And your testimony today, not being able to answer with moral clarity, speaks volumes. I yield back.
The representative of Michigan, Ms. McLean.
So this is why she was resigned. So they called for her resignation. Then this happened. So this was what? When did they posted this up 18 hours ago? But no, it didn't happen 18 hours ago. This was a couple of weeks ago when this happened. Let me just go back. She announced her resignation. And one thing about her resignation, they said a couple of weeks ago, they found some, I guess, report or thesis. I don't know if it was her thesis, but it was from school that she plagiarized from an article.
Gay resigned today, weeks after her controversial testimony before Congress about anti-Semitism, and as she faced mounting accusations of plagiarism. Erin McLaughlin has the story.
Tonight, embattled Harvard president Claudine Gay stepping down, abruptly ending her turbulent 6-month tenure as the institution's first black president, the shortest term of anyone in that position. In a letter to the Harvard community, Gay writing, "It has become clear that it is in the best interest of Harvard for me to resign, and that it has been distressing to have doubt cast on my commitments to confronting hate and to upholding scholarly rigor, two bedrock values that are fundamental to who I am, and frightening to be subjected to personal attacks and threats fueled by racial animus."
Anti-Semitic rhetoric, when it crosses into conduct that amounts to bullying.
Calls for Gay's resignation followed backlash to this response at last month's congressional hearing, when Republican Elise Stefanik pressed her about anti-Semitism on college campuses.
Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be, depending on the context.
It does not depend on the context. The answer is yes.
Pressure grew in the following week, with Gay facing multiple allegations of plagiarism in her academic work. Harvard initially standing by Gay, but today the board accepting her resignation, saying she had acknowledged missteps, but also faced deeply personal and sustained attacks. Tonight, Stefanik claiming credit, saying this is just the beginning of what will be the greatest scandal of any college or university in history. Gay's resignation leaving the campus divided.
I'm glad that, it seems like we're moving in a direction where Harvard might begin to repair its public image.
I was flabbergasted. I was more than surprised. I was shocked. I don't think she was really given a chance from the start.
And Erin, this is now the second university president to step down after those hearings on anti-Semitism on campus.
That's right, Lester. The president of the University of Pennsylvania resigned following backlash to her testimony, and there's now a congressional investigation into all of this. Harvard has announced an interim president, Alan Garber. Gay will stay on as professor. Lester.
Erin, thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories.
But they're saying that she's going to stay on as a professor, but they really need to get rid of her. She don't need to her views and expressions.
Here
She's
at home, the
corrupting
president of
these
Harvard
young
University,
minds,
Chawanne Burns,
impressionable
resigned
minds.
today.
These impressionable minds, they need to get rid of her. Now that she resigned, they said something about plagiarism. I can't find the article, but you do have a lot of people mad that she was forced to resign. You have a lot of people upset that she was forced to resign. Let me just share this tab. But most of the people, they're like kind of glad, but they're kind of glad that she was forced out. Now, I don't think that she should be a professor still. They still keeping her on at the college. After you plagiarize, why wouldn't you fire her? Not only because of the racist things that she be doing, they should fire her because of plagiarism. That's like you get expelled for that, and you earned a degree from this. This is from Zoe Griffith. Today I watched Dr. Carol Swain saying her attorney will serve papers to Harvard for Claudine Gay plagiarism of her work. She also says she does not have academia credits to teach anyone. She should not be at Harvard teaching or at any Ivy League college. They're saying that they holding her to a lower standard because she's a white woman or a black woman. She wrote, Harvard can't condemn Miss Gay because she is a product of an elite system that holds minorities of high pedigree to a lower standard. This harms academia as a whole, and it demeans Americans of all races, which it does, who had worked hard for everything that they earned. Swain, they said she's a right-wing political commentator. I never known her be really right-wing, but anyway, I guess addressed other authors who address allegedly plagiarized by Gay, but failed to condemn her, describing the missourcing to a few harmless, inadequate citations. No, she plagiarized. Swain claims Gay failed to credit parts of her 1993 book, Black Faces, Black Interests, the representation of African Americans in Congress, as well as her 1997 article titled Women and Blacks in Congress, 1870 and 1976. And so she claims that now, this is Dr. Carol Swain. She says Miss Gay had no problem writing the coattails of people whose work she used without proper attribution. Many of those who worked she pilfered aren't as incensed as I am. They are elites who have benefited from the system that protects its own, the political scientist said. She was accused of copying 2 paragraphs from a work by then Harvard scholars Dr. D. Stevens Voss, Bradley Palmquist. One paragraph is nearly identical except for a few words. But Voss, who now teaches at the University of Kentucky, told the Crimson that while Gay technically plagiarized, it is minor to inconsequential. So the UPenn professor is out. She quit, and then it followed by Claudine Gay. But they're still keeping her on as a professor, which I do not agree with that. I do not agree with her being a professor. So you guys put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. So that was it for our live stream. We've been going on pretty strong. You guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Tomorrow we'll be talking about, I got some other things that I want to talk about in the city of Flint. The city of Flint, Michigan, is their council meeting is off the chain. Off the chain, and this one particular person, a council member, I guess she's like the head of the council member. I guess I forget what position you would call it, but she's off the chain too. So I think it's a lot of corruption that's going on in the city of Flint, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow.